Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Blood of Kings for one last time as we sit down to talk about the show, the season, and everything as a whole for our campaign wrap up. I am Aubrey. I've been your GM for, I don't know, a lot of episodes. And yeah, people go around, say who you are and who you played.
Is that me? I go first,
Sure.
right?
Yeah.
You're top of the order on the list.
Yeah, I am. Hello. I'm Aki, and I played Estrella Bashar Chloris, our quadruple bard princess, now goddess. Oh my god. It's weird actually saying it all out loud, not gonna
Yeah.
lie. Yeah, like as a hello, this is what I did. But yeah, and we both used not used past tense because we're still using. We both use she, her pronouns.
Aki, drop the domains you picked.
Oh, and the domains I picked, yes. The domains I picked were sun, passion, and void.
I want to fuck the sun.
Quick, somebody else go.
Alyssa, you're next.
I figured Tick would go since they were talking, but okay. Hi, I'm Melissa. I use they, them pronouns, and I played Timson, the Eternal Librarian, God of Knowledge and Toil.
Oh shit, it's me. Hi, I'm Dusty. I use they, he pronouns, and I played Joanna de la Rosa, fighter of Mexico, now goddess of protection and revolution.
Hold on. Okay, sorry, I couldn't get close enough to my mic because I had a visitor. Yes, I'm Ferris. I played Demisa Sulfig, the goddess of shelter, and family, and lightning, and introspection, I think was the third one I went with.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember. Anyway, she, her pronouns all around the board. Sparlock, you're next.
All right. Hello, I am Sparlock. I use he, him pronouns, and I played Groon, agent of well-meaning chaos and goddess of fire, healing, redemption, and floor donuts, who uses she, her pronouns.
And I am Tick. I use he, she, they pronouns, and I played. I played Mero, who used they, them, killed them, who used they, them pronouns, who has taken over the underworld in the domains of death, truth, and pain, which is very mean of me, but fitting.
Sure. But yeah, I think we will start off with talking about just season 4 in general. I mean there were I feel like I surprised you all quite a bit with some of the choices that I made in season 4. The whole ascension to godhood.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yep.
Can I tell a funny story about that for the viewers? Because I'm not sure if you cut it out or not. So I was out of town, and I was on the last day of like something I was doing at in the States, stuff like that. And I was in the car with one of my friends. We were getting dinner together. We were going to like McDonald's or whatever. And I was like, oh, damn, I missed the whole session. I wonder what happened. And I saw everyone lingering in the chat with the like recording bots weren't there anymore. So I joined it. I said, hey guys, what happened? Everyone immediately lost their shit and was like, one of us is Joanna's a god now. Holy shit, when we can become gods? So I was like, huh? I just had like McDonald's in one hand. I was like on 2 hours of sleep. And I was like, huh? And that's how I learned about that.
Mm-hmm.
I was very surprised that Joanna was first.
I had godhood in my plans. I didn't have it in all of yours, the rest of you. So like godhood for me was like, no, that makes sense. That makes like 100% sense. And then Joanna became first. Technically was the captain, but like Joanna was like the first, and we didn't know about it. I think we had a hunch that was like, that's gonna go to captain. But Joanna being first was not. Joanna's not even from here.
I know. That's why I'm like, oh, okay.
And I mean that on a plan. On a plane level. She's not even from here.
I think that's the funniest way though, because like someone that has it's just like, what is happening? Look at this, and just look at the camera like, what just happened? Everyone's just sitting here like, that was very important. And Joanna's like, oh, okay, nice.
I think storytelling wise, it did kind of work well to have like the person that in the literal sense of things has the least amount of connections to this plane now becoming like a god of it is a good way to like throw like everyone for a loop.
Can't wait to see how that affects the Dustyverse.
It already has.
Joanna got to live my isekai dream. That's all I'm saying. Okay, that was so like, and the bitch got a romance. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Joanna got to live the good isekai. Go bitch, like I was here for it. I was here for it.
Go girl, give us everything.
I need you to know that technically, canonically, in Joanna's godhood, like mythical campaign, one of the legends is this bitch inventing jeans, and I need you to all live with that.
I don't want to live with that knowledge. I'm going to choose to ignore it.
Too bad.
No, the
jeans
bitch
are
invented
very popular in the underworld.
No, they aren't. They're banned.
No, they're not.
Jeans.
Joanna gives Marrow some jorts. Marrow never changes.
No.
Once Marrow discovers jorts, they will be unstoppable.
What tangent? Like jeans, they're so uncomfortable and they're cold. I hate them personally, and I'm projecting this onto my character.
Because you never have to wash them.
That too.
You people don't wash your jeans.
You don't wash them nearly as often as you do other types of pants.
Yeah.
That's what they're made for.
Like a good pair of jeans are also incredibly durable, so it's not wasteful.
Yeah.
Yeah, Aki, you know me. You've never seen me wearing jeans in my life because
my dear, I truly believe the reason why you don't like jeans is because you're autistic and you don't like the texture.
Yeah.
That's usually what happens.
That's so valid. But like that texture goes away.
The temperature.
Mm-hmm. The texture does go away. Yeah, like you can wash out the feeling, but like high key, that's why I think. And you know what? More power to you.
Thank you.
You a bitch that like leggings, but like very specific leggings, and I'm here for that.
I love them comfy sweatpants.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, jeans are outlawed.
They're not.
At least, we'll see.
And that is how Marrow got overthrown from the underworld.
Like,
you die
great.
and lose your pants.
Job. Like, I love them so much. They've been incredible, but they don't like jeans, so we gotta kill them.
Some crimes cannot be forgiven.
They took our jeans.
You guys sound like you're in a cult a little bit. Like, you're obsessed with jeans.
Can you imagine the first thing that happens when you die is that the ruler of the underworld takes your pants and burns them?
No.
Hello, you died. Welcome to hell.
Now there's going to be some really weird fanfics. Thanks.
Actually, wait, hold on, Aubrey. That runs a question for me. Mm-hmm. If you die in Cyrene, do you just keep wearing the outfit you died in?
Ghosts, in a way, sort of present themselves how they want to be seen.
So it's like a free infinite wardrobe.
Yeah, but they're mostly like incorporeal.
Oh, Estrella's gonna love dying.
You're correct. You're telling me this whole time I could have gotten rid of my fears by just dying? Dying young? Oh my goodness.
So how the rest of y'all like season 4?
Season 4 was fun. Season 4. Season 4. Season 4 was honestly of a fucking blast. And I am sad but happy that it's finally done. I think the best part about season 4 is that it ended. But also, I think the worst part about season 4 is that it ended. That's how I feel.
I mean, it's very valid.
Yeah, very, very conflicted, but like in a good way, you know?
But the character sheet management, oh my god.
Yeah, no, that was the fucking surprise when Aubrey was like, yeah, dual class now. We're like, oh, just like that.
Mythic rules didn't exist, so I improvised.
It was very cool, and many times was legitimately great. But then every so often it'd be like, I don't know what's going on because I have too many things.
I had over 20 spell slots before we were level 20.
Oh my gosh.
I would spend 5 minutes scrolling. Now that I think about it, I'm like, oh shit. But like, I liked it a lot though. I did feel like a god because I had too many things to do and I forgot to do them. So honestly, more power to us.
Yeah.
I have a spreadsheet that is like healing and damage spells and like what types of things Groon could cure is because I just couldn't keep it all in my head at one point.
I had a very long, I think I had like a 6 or 7 page cheat sheet just for combat.
Kudos to Aubrey for rolling with the punches, because especially near the end, like as we were doing all these level ups, and there were once or twice, I hope only once or twice, where I was like, by the way, I forgot to mention this thing over the last week, and yeah, so
there was definitely a lot of that, especially near the end.
You mean it wasn't just me?
It was just a lot of management. It was just like, wow, high level is fun, but oh my god.
Yeah.
When I crit spell strike disintegration on a god,
I was like, well, that takes an episode shorter than I expected it to.
I need you to know that every time I think about that, I think of that Zuko meme where he lifts the scroll up and goes, "Where's the rest of it?" That's what I feel about. That's what I feel about the Solakra fight, because like high key, the fight was long when you think about the fact that we got another assassination attempt and all that stuff. So like, you know, it's not like it didn't take long or it wasn't challenging or scary. It's just that really did fucking happen.
It was like 5 rounds to just get out the window.
Yeah,
down
like the
there,
longest.
and then that was 2 rounds of combat.
Yeah, the longest part of the fight was before Solakra even entered it. Like she was out in the courtyard doing whatever she was doing.
She was busy fighting my mom. What do you mean? Whatever she was doing,
assassins. Anyway, and then we come out, and then we're done.
Joanna like, ooh, once I get through that fucking window.
Actually, Joanna, that entire fight was kind of.
I was like, oh, you know, Joanna's a fighter. I'll give her 3 people to fight. She should be fine. And I was like, you killed all your guys before anyone else did.
Joanna put one through 2 walls because technically a door counts as a wall, and it went out the door and onto the next wall. So through 2 walls. What the fuck, Joanna?
That was me. Like maybe like the second combat after Joanna became a god, or was it the first?
It was second because you fought Vasil before that.
Right, yeah. And so I was like, all right, I'm gonna like flex all my shit. By the way, those dice.
You did.
But like the dice that I use, the rest of the season gave me like nothing above a 7.
It was.
Mhm,
They
mhm.
gave you all your good rolls in that fight.
Yeah.
And it worked. I wanted to make all of the god fights feel fun and interesting and unique. That's why, like, Remulus was kind of like the hide and seek, where it's like he's somewhere, you gotta find him. And like Vasile's was like a 2-part fight: first part dragon, second part twink.
I did like the variation.
That could be a great romance
Same.
book title.
No, shut up, Tick.
Yeah, you're right. The romance novel will be first part twink, second part dragon.
True, you're right.
Yep.
I know it's taboo to say you guys have bad ideas. We have bad ideas. I'm sorry.
Oh, baby, I'm full of bad ideas. Why do you think I'm here?
Yep.
Oh,
And then
roasted.
for Salakras, it was like the idea of like this long drawn out fight of fighting through all of these people. And then I had a bunch of things that she was going to do in the fight that she never got to do.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry.
Like it was like kind of like the idea of building a character around like ordering other people around and you know, like I had written some stuff for it which I may reuse of essentially using her actions to maneuver people and counting them like familiars or whatever.
Okay.
So she could spend her actions to like move people around and stuff and have them attack. So it was gonna be a very interesting fight. And then that happened, which to be fair was very interesting in itself.
And then Joanna came in.
Mhm.
Sorry.
Then we had the one-on-one with Dumisa and her mother.
That was so good.
I enjoyed the one-on-one quite a bit.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a sucker for the one-on-one stuff, especially when it's like, you know, I challenge you, and then like that being their ultimate weakness, getting challenged because they don't want to die a bitch. That's me. That's me for real. I felt that. The most relatable God of War. Let's go.
It was very fun, but also very stressful because I'm like, I feel like I can't die here. I can't screw this up. I can't lose to my mother again. I would have been so mad if I had lost that fight. Just like personally.
Mm-hmm. And then you know, then fighting Denpole was that was gonna be a lot more. And then half my monsters got banished to the Shadow Realm.
was that a Tamsin hit job or was that an
That was
Australia? Was it
Tamsin.
both?
Yeah, it was banishment.
Yeah.
Banishment. I just went, okay, there goes half the monsters
I
here.
love the picked off wolf girl.
Tamsin always had the best like
Yeah.
battle changing spells.
Yeah.
Joanna came in with like the
Wish.
battle ending spells. Tamsin had the ones that just changed the game.
Hi, Key.
Perfect
They're the
couple.
elder gays. They better.
Yeah, right? Yeah.
Mhm.
Can you imagine? If all like Tamsin could do was like throw gummy candies at people because like grandma,
Mhm.
and that's it. Not even like a chapel, a slipper like throw. Oh my goodness!
Just Werthers.
Mhm.
I just had a, no, I
But
just had a
instead, you know, I'm here for disintegrate finger or and whatever they did.
Mhm. Yeah.
Hear me out.
Mhm.
Sorry, hear me out. You said throwing gummies. Like, are there gummies that impart knowledge? And I was like, what if there's gummies that if you eat them, you get knowledge? Tamskin can make gummies of knowledge.
Don't
she
do
would not be
that. That
throwing those
didn't
at
end the
people?
last time.
Is it knowledge power? Don't you want people to know things, Tamsin?
I want to know things. The
why no
snake
one's
in the
allowed in the
garden has
library.
nothing on me because I am just going to keep the apple for myself.
That is raw as fuck, excuse me?
That's pretty good, yeah. Yeah, and you got to finally like learn more about Cyrene's history and like how the world came into being with Anaton.
Kind of a dilf, actually.
He made me feel so bad for him, but like he's still like a stranger.
Mhm.
So I was like sus about it too. But I'm like, I'm Estrella. She's way better of a person than me. So I gotta be nice. But
Mhm.
like the whole time in my head, I'm like, it just sounds like this is a you problem, my guy. Why'd you suck at your job? This, yeah, I'm so glad we don't record our faces because every time he talked, I had my hand make the talking motion because was like, I was like, oh, wah, wah, boo. I was like that in the bit, but like
Shut the
to
fuck up.
myself.
Don't do this to my boy.
I feel bad for him, but like at the same time, do I feel bad for like fucking Solas? No, I'm gonna beat the shit out of that egg. And so like, at least Anton wasn't a fucking asshole. He was just sad, but I'm like, it sounds like you were the cause of your own problems. But like,
It kind of was. I mean,
yeah.
it's Greek tragedy.
Yeah, no, exactly. It's Greek tragedy. This is how I feel about most like Greek myths and Greek tragedies, especially. I hate all the men in Greek except for Ares in Greek in Greek myth. I shouldn't say hate because hate's a strong word, but I think they're all pathetic. And it's just more fun for me, but that also means I'm incredibly mean and I have to not be mean about it because Australia is so nice.
So if this is like a Greek tragedy, does it mean that the tyrant and Thanaton are either brothers or gay lovers? They're one of the two, right?
They could be both, sadly.
No.
It's Greek.
It's Greek.
Greek. It's Greek. They could be both.
We don't talk about the Greek anymore.
We'll go with the more towards they're brothers, and it's more of the tyrant exists because that was the first being that Thanaton created when he shattered his soul.
Could also be considered like a familial child relationship too.
No,
Yeah.
I don't trust those. I saw him like was it Romulus thing, the two brothers that made Rome because Rome fell.
Yep.
And both of them suck, like in terms of like
wolves?
where they're yeah, sort of like that, like where their placement is in Cyrene. So I saw them more like, oh, they tried to make Rome and then they fell. But you know what's still alive today? Greece. So like that was how I saw him, like that kind of vibe. But once again, that made me Aki want to make fun of him, but not Astreus. The best of me.
Yeah, tie things back. Tick funnily enough guessed one of the twists like halfway through the season.
I'm pretty good at that sometimes.
Tick guessed a twist.
Wait, what did you guess?
Ferris did too.
The one about the tyrant being related to all of like having connections to all of this.
I was like, Thanaton, tyrant? Oh, they be related somehow, huh?
And yeah, Ferris also predicted stuff too.
Ooh, Ferris, what'd you predict?
The dragons were falling stars are the dragon eggs.
Yeah, that was
cute.
That was the
And I'm like, here's a
funniest
fun
thing.
little in-character story I'm making up for funsies. And then Aubrey in the background, like, stop it right now. Shut up.
You're getting too close there. Getting too close.
I had run the like Joanna one shot where I revealed that, and none of you knew that. And then Ferris comes in with this story, and I was like, "How do you know? How do you know?"
Yeah, no, I remember things like, oh yeah, like obs, and like, wait, Ferris wasn't there.
Ferris is always there. What do you mean?
It's in your walls?
I also guessed one thing, but it was for fan fiction that I didn't finish.
What? What?
Yeah.
No, you have to continue. You
I
have
will.
as a strong.
I will, but let me be embarrassed about it. So Ferris and I write Dumea fics sometimes, and like Ferris wrote me like a 50,000 word thing, and I was like,
hang on, you're embarrassed. I'm embarrassed. Keep going.
and I was like, oh, I'm inspired. Let me also write one, and I wrote one where so like we're not a party. Doomy never like grew a brain and like free will and stuff. It wasn't until like after, and I was like, because the reason why the true gods in this fanfic are now the current pantheon and are like taking over and stuff like that, but like politely, is because like the whole world is aware of the false gods, and specifically Vlagos is now aware that this whole time they were just a part of the false gods plot to make the world busy with something else, like a tiny nation slowly but fastly, rapidly expanding through various deliberately destructive methods out of nowhere. And then I put that into the general chat, and I was like, hey, is this what happened? And I was like, yep, they were pawns the whole time. And my fanfic was gonna have my my fanfic was gonna have that we're still fighting the false gods, and we need help because there's only like very few true gods because the party never got together. So we were gonna have we're gonna have all the other we're gonna have all the other go compete in this battle royale type thing, and Demisa was Flagos's representative to marry Estrella, and I was like so into it.
I mean, I'm into this. I want to read this.
Hey, why has this never gone into my DMs beyond just the general plot description?
Because after I guessed it, I got embarrassed. I stopped writing it, but I'm actually still writing it. I'm just not gonna say.
How dare you? How dare you?
But I will send it because I said I would, and now this is recording, and I don't think Aubrey's gonna take it out. So now it's here forever.
That's right. I would like to emphasize this as /JK, but it's free Patreon content, baby. Put the fic up there.
And that's what I might do that. Yeah, why not? Right?
Yeah, if you want to read the fic.
Yeah, if you want to read the fic. Yeah. I was gonna. By the way, I was gonna like put like the rest of us in different places, like, but it's a Dumea fic, so like obviously it was centered there. But like it was gonna just be smut originally, and then it stopped being smut because I like political intrigue way more, and
that's fair.
Yeah, like
put those tits away. We got political intrigue to deal with.
Yeah.
Why do you think mine's so long?
Also, just there's the Tempest would be bossed around, and there's something amazing about that. I have a mic that I can grab again, so so that's what's happening right now. Anyways, please go away from me. Take me away.
Yeah. Other fun things you got to like you met you did finally meet the rest of the true gods. You met Doomy's sibling early in the season, and that was fun.
Oh yeah. I did hate them initially. Yeah. Not me, Demisa hated them initially.
Gosh, that was season 4 still, huh?
Yeah, it was beginning of season 4.
Was
it was in session length, it was about half of what last season was, but like episode length same time.
Yeah.
There was a lot that happened for sure. I mean, there's that you learned that essentially they're Peter Pan.
That's
Peter Pan
that
just
moment.
hooks ship.
Yeah.
That was a fun. I had to cut that out of the episode because it was like 5 minutes long, and it was like this is just 5 minutes of off topic. It's amazing, and I love it. And I did actually. It is uploaded on. I think it's in the last blooper reel because I just I loved it so much.
I remember starting like, okay, no, we have to move on. I can't say this, and everyone's like, just did. I'm like, and I'm like, wait, which means I have so many thoughts about shit, like how basically Karen is the same thing here as Earth, and Joanna has so many wait, which came first? So confused now.
Yeah, you met Kyra and and all of that. Or well, you met the ferryman, who really wasn't Chiron, but
Yeah. We got I was gonna say Atalanta. No. Mero's mom. I can't remember their name right now.
Amidas.
Amidas. We
Yeah.
got them back.
yeah, they're from Ireland.
Yeah.
Fucking get over it.
You know who else would like jeans? You know who else would like jeans?
Leave.
No fucking way. No. That bitch wasn't alive with. I swear she's like way older. Like
Jeans are
way
very old.
Jeans
older.
are very
Jeans are super
old.
old.
How
It's just
old
a
are-
weaving. It's just a
How
type of weaving of
old
cotton.
are jeans?
I'm Googling this right now. How
Yeah.
old are jeans?
1871.
So someone, probably the cowboy in Dracula, was wearing jeans.
Absolutely,
Uh-huh.
absolutely. That man was wearing jeans. He was from Texas.
If we go by mathematical, jeans did not exist because apparently the earliest is the 17th century, which is like the 1800s, and she's from the 1600s.
1600s.
400
Jeans.
years.
17th century is 1600s.
No, it isn't.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, it is.
Because the 25th. Oh shit!
It doesn't make sense,
They
but
were
yes.
written in France at that time, so it's not 100% confirmed. Then, if it's gotten to Ireland, then
It probably
She
hasn't gotten to
independently
rural
invented
Ireland.
pants in Ireland. Yeah.
she was like 5.
Oh
She
my
was a
god,
genius. What can I say?
Amidas invented jeans and Joanna brought them back.
True love.
For the record, I just want to say, you know how fucked up it is to be like 5, walking around, and your parents say, "Stay away from that circle," and you go,
Mhm.
"Bet," and you don't, and now you're in Narnia, and
Basically.
yeah, and everything is different. And at some point, you get kidnapped, but also die at the same time.
I think you just described like so many children's books.
Yeah, but can you imagine living one? Like, do you walk in the woods and expect to find a cottage that belonged to 3 bears and not the gay kind? No.
Yeah, I only consider the gay kind.
So children's stories, but with PTSD. Okay.
Most
That's
most
all
people
children's
most protagonists in children's stories probably afterwards will have some form of PTSD.
Mhm.
Welcome to Blood of Kings.
I'm trying to think of all of the other big fun moments that happened in season
Can
4.
I just make a confession really quickly? Because I don't think I've explicitly said this. I didn't know the last name O'Sullivan was Irish.
What?
It was
It
Irish.
is like the most Irish.
I did not pick it because it was Irish. I didn't know it was Irish.
That's like
So
saying
I'm
I
like, oh
didn't
my
know
God.
Sanchez was Mexican.
Just as a general rule of thumb, if it starts with an O and then there's like an apostrophe, it's probably Irish.
Good to know. I didn't know this, and then all of you started going like, "Oh, it's the Irish." And I'm like, "Excuse me, it is." Well, I'm not going to confess that I don't know anything about anything, so I'm going to continue to go along with this. But I think now that the game's over, I can confess I did not know it was Irish.
When Tick, so you know that saying, "I don't see color." I truly believe that applies to Tick, and I don't mean this in a rude way. It's just I know you, bitch. And I know you don't mean malice like 80% of the time.
What do you mean 80%? Make that, please.
No, because you send me things and I know it's to get a rise out of me. Okay. Sure, you'll be like, can I send you a cursed image, a cursed food image? And you know I'll say yes. Because I enjoy spending time with you. But then you show me things where beans shouldn't be.
If it helps, you guys have noticed I haven't sent a lot of cursed foods images. That's because my the channel I got them from started advertising NFTs, so I stopped following it.
That's fair.
Wait,
Did
are
you
you
even
buy cursed food NFTs? Why are you not doing this, Jake?
No. It was just random NFTs or AI stuff, and I was like, oh, I'm not following this anymore. Every other thing is an ad. This isn't cursed food. This is just curse. I'm out. So I left.
Oh my God. Tamsin wants to gatekeep knowledge and creates NFTs in Cyrene.
No.
You live long enough to become the enemy.
I would like to say Aubrey had a plan for this like end of game recap, and we kind of just ripped it off the rails.
I mean, we're still talking about the season.
We're talking about food NFTs.
Yeah, I mean, it's all, you know, because I was gonna turn around and say, well, another big thing that happened this season was that Australia finally did the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you mean hatch the egg?
You hatched the egg and you broke the time curse.
Broke the time curse. Yeah, look at that. 3 fucking years. For realsies. The Dragon Prince took a 2-year break and still came back before we did this. And I'm using the Dragon Prince specifically because, like, it's the plot point was very inspired by the first season. And then the rest of it was Pokemon. And yeah, it took me 3 years to do it, like 3 IRL years, but like, my God, we did it. And it was very satisfying.
Yeah, I've been sort of just like, it'll happen. I have the plans for you. It's just you always were so busy, and you know, as you were trying to do a million things, and it finally happened.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I was very in character to put off my own business.
Yeah, that's true. And
remember when we, like, half of us were like ready to split the party and run away, like after the first season?
Mm-hmm.
Because I fucking remember that. And then we didn't, because we're like, oh wow, we're getting hunted down. Marrow's gonna get us assassinated many times. Well, actually, no, it wasn't Marrow's fault at the time. It was Jumisa's fault.
Yes,
because Dumisa called the bad guy.
I still maintain he would have done it anyway because he was the one who hired us. We were literally running his errand.
It wasn't him. He
was there. He was there when we got the errand. He knew all about it. He'd already met all of us. I maintain he would have connected the dots eventually. I just sped it up a little bit. Actually, he didn't connect those dots. He didn't connect the Estrella dots until he came to assassinate us in person. And honestly, it's just funny that he came to, well, semi in person, came to assassinate us at all, because it was, again, he'd already seen us. We were right there. He could have killed us, no problem. And then he went, you know what? Maybe this is a bad idea. I was really counting on that memory loss thing, but this gets spicy. Like, what? You think I was gonna buzz Heron next? No way.
Heron was supposed to be a bad guy, so actually maybe.
Yeah, but he wasn't the responsible one. She had very directed anger. It was. She would get mad at people and maybe do like unwise things, but it was always directed at the person who did the problem. Like. The only time it wasn't was when she was being briefly possessed, but they worked that out. They figured it out. They got their little snakes in a row. Wait, their little ducks in a row.
Snakes in a row. That's a good one. I think I'll start using that one.
Don't count your snakes before they hatch.
I mean, snakes do hatch.
They do hatch.
Yeah, I mean,
some of them. Anyway.
Some of them, yes.
Aubrey, can I ask you a question? Actually, it ties into a little bit of the end.
Sure.
So when we beat Dawn, right? Great, fantastic. Yep. Australia was kicking his ass, like, aggressively, like, very graphically fantastic. I really hope your original space gets published, because I'm a weenie when it comes to paper cuts. But what did he do with all of those souls? Because there weren't any in the underworld. Where did they go? What happened?
He had absorbed them all.
Oh, so there were just none again, or did they just get
they after he was dead? They went back to the underworld.
Oh, okay. So it just spit out like a giant cannon of just like souls.
Yeah.
It's like the end of Ghostbusters.
That's disgusting. Kinda. I love it.
It is like the end of Ghostbusters.
Fitting.
But we didn't get the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man.
Yet. Do marshmallows exist in Irene?
You can make them exist.
Because you have the power to make them exist.
You have the power to make them exist.
Joanna decidedly doesn't like marshmallows.
Joanna, why would you rob us?
Okay. Joanna, I'll make you a deal. If you bring marshmallows to Cyrene, I'll allow James to exist in the underworld.
You wouldn't even know what marshmallows are. You can't make this deal.
I like marshmallows.
Joanna doesn't take criticism from their possible like kid-in-law.
I don't see a marriage certificate. Get adopting that. Like,
Could I
So,
just say,
mhm.
I just going about season 4, just one of my favorite moments legitimately was during the Joanne fight when fucking Alyssa / Tamsin just like, hey, what if I just change everything like the most possible ever right now?
So good.
And like truly one of like the most like mega mind positive things I've like seen in the game.
Yeah. It's the epitome of you can never predict what your players are going to do.
Were you not expecting us to do
No, I wasn't really expecting you to do that because, like, it's like it is an option, but I didn't expect that you would do it or put it together,
What
which
did
is
you?
on me.
What did you?
Oh,
What did
I
you think we
was-
were supposed to do?
I assumed that you built it so that we do that because it was impossible to kill him. We would not have killed him in the underworld.
We would have got killed.
It theoretically was possible. You just really have to focus in on him. But yes, I mean, it was a thing, and it was like, yeah, this is a thing they could do. I didn't think that they would.
we needed the easy way out.
I'll be real, I did not expect that whatsoever. I was ready to like stand in
beat
front
his
of Joanne
ass?
and fucking die and beat his
To
ass.
just beat his ass?
Yeah, that's what Joanna's meant to do. Beat their ass.
I was really expecting like one of us to die and then like have to fight on his behalf instead.
Well, I am very surprised we didn't all die. Like
Nobody died ever except for Mara once on accident because of a crit card.
Groon almost died.
A lot of us almost died, but none of us actually died except
Groon
for
came
Mara.
within like a couple of HP of being just dead.
Yeah, you and me both. I was sitting there on temp HP twice.
People die when they are killed.
I know Estrella almost died many
Yeah, Stray almost
times.
died a couple times.
Yeah,
Yep.
to be 100%, it's because she just cannot take the hit.
Well, she was a bard.
She was a
Oh.
bard, and I said, "Con's my dump stack."
Like,
And then
I
people
just-
would like come up and do melee with you.
Mhm.
And I would be across the field and be like, I can't help you from over here. They weren't supposed to go after you.
I just remember like because I thought Groon was dead in that second to last fight.
Yeah, that would have been
but
scary.
There was like one source of resistance that I didn't account for or something. Oh god.
Was there anyone who never went to like who never ghosted with 0 HP, even if there were things that brought them back out of it right away? Like, was there anyone who didn't touch death for a second?
I think it might be Joanna.
Joanna, did Tamsin ever get that low?
Tamsin did. I almost killed Tamsin with a Hydra in
Oh,
season
yeah!
3.
Yeah.
That's right.
Because it was seconds after I was like, no, I'm fine. I don't need healing.
Yeah, that's right.
And Hydra gets as many attacks as it has heads. I'm like, well, it's still got 5 heads.
Snapshots taken seconds before a disaster.
I feel like
Did
did she not?
Joanna?
I don't remember it ever
I'm
happening.
trying to remember. Like,
I remember getting dastardly low.
yeah, there were a few times where you got real low. I don't think you ever went unconscious because I was going through all of the fights in my head, and I was like, not that one, not that one, not that one.
No wonder Joanna ascended first.
Yeah, I guess not.
You also skipped the first couple of levels as
Yeah,
well.
that's the real reason.
Yeah. I mean, Joanna came into the show at like level 13, so
Yeah, like I for the first season, like Groon almost dying was almost a meme.
It's true. there was a lot of like up down for those first few levels, and especially like I was learning how to like balance shit as a Pathfinder GM.
I still remember like the very first round of the Talon fight. And we all walk in the room, and Aubrey goes, "Okay, great, breath weapon," and everybody goes down. It's like almost the whole party was like down to like 10 or less HP. We're like, "Oof, that was round 1." That was action 1. Actually, that was the top of the round. Nobody's done anything yet.
It was always kind of fun. But yeah, this let us sort of roll over into like Blood of Kings as a whole, talking about characters. And I'm going to like open this up by talking about some of the stuff that's like behind the screen that you don't see, sort of talking about like how the story has changed and evolved. It is kind of a bit of a meme at this point. The fact that you all noped the fuck out of Obara in season 1 and kind of caused me to have to rewrite the back half of season 1. And like how I mean, it was a choice. I didn't think you would make it. It's a choice that I did not think you would make. There were other options and things like that, but like very interesting to see like how that affected and changed things. I mean, Doomy crank calling Talon in the beginning of season 2 changed things. Like Talon was always going to be the villain for the season. But you made him a lot more apparent early on. He wasn't going to make his moves until later in the season.
I said Talon earlier. I meant Thorn. Sorry.
Thorn. Yeah, Thorn did that. But yeah, that specifically is like my plans initially for that is when everything happened in Obara that you would all the idea was the undead were supposed to chase you further into the city. And you'd be taking refuge in the tunnels and eventually find Torfine and with Cassian's help, learn a little bit about what happened. I mean, I repurposed it for when we came back in season 3, but like the idea of that and sort of working with Cassian, you would still not know. He would not reveal that he was Rin, and in the end, would kind of stop you all from killing Torfine. Or destroying her, thinking that like that would stop the undead, and it is sort of the idea of Rin doesn't know how to stop this, and that was going to be a big thing of figuring out like how to. Well, a bigger through line through the first 2 seasons was how to save this person and how to end this in this curse.
Now, is it correct? I feel like I remember you saying once upon a time that you weren't planning on revealing the old gods like true intentions in this campaign at all. That was something from like the home game, and you weren't planning on bringing it into this one at all. Like maybe hinting at it, but not actually letting it be like the plot.
Yeah. Initially, when we started, and then 3 of you directly linked yourselves to gods, and then that changed things.
I didn't do that till like season 2, but
in my defense, first.
Yeah, it's like, it was going to be like that maybe is a thing that you learn, like the idea of you ascending and killing off all the false gods was, I had initially written something years ago that I had intended to be a follow-up to that initial campaign, which would have been like some of the characters from that original campaign, some new characters, and the idea of these people who know what the gods have done, building an army to fight against them. And I kind of took some of those ideas and brought them in as, it's like if Marrow hadn't really, if it was things that you could learn and you could poke into, and especially like with Marrow confronting their father about it. And, Estrella delving more and more into her past and everything and learning about that. It kind of naturally came about.
Gotcha.
We really said, let's just run.
We did.
I still don't regret running, though. I think running is an incredibly smart decision. But like, I was like, I still feel bad that we made you literally throw out a whole journal of maps.
I drew so many maps for this, and it was like, well, I did eventually get to use them in season 3 when you went back.
Yay.
I took all of those maps that I'd made and made them again, and was able to use them. So it just got repurposed, not like thrown out.
Hey, Aubrey, I have a question for you.
Sure.
In your before we even played the first episode of this game, what did you have in mind for the final boss of the entire campaign, if anything?
Funny enough, it was probably going to be Heron. Heron and Vlagos, because like I initially was gonna set it as like putting you up against Vlagos. The ideas were like you do this and like the stuff going on with Torfine was going to be like a back burner thing that you're working on through the first couple of seasons, and then eventually like you would learn how to do it and you would come back and do this. But like you figure this out and you're like, this is not something we can solve right now, but we have this information and we can start working on this. Velen, you're a good researcher. Maybe you can work on this. And then you all head back to Cressa. You get the job to go find Serena. And then you come in contact with Heron. And Heron is, season 1 Heron of The Spoiled Prince. And, it's kind of like that is, you come to eventually where there's the option of bargaining with him of we will find this person for you, like just don't attack the city, or you could have just straight up run from that encounter. That was an option. Like there were people there that would like get like sort of secret you out of the city, and sort of like the idea is like most of season 2 was initially just the search for Serena, following her trail, figuring out where she had been. And then it would lead you to Naxos and Estrella's past. And you were Estrella, you were like initially only going to learn that was your mom when she's standing right in front of you.
I've been so wild, like a very wildly different campaign.
And like it wasn't initially like fighting the gods, like it would have ended with you like essentially taking over Vlagos. But then things changed.
You don't say.
God damn, I could have colonized the colonizer, huh?
Reverse
That's okay.
note card. Right from the titty.
You rolled really well and made Heron think about everything.
I think you just made him really horny.
That too. But you also went, hey, you're an idiot. Stop being an idiot, and rolled really high. And he's like, maybe I have been an idiot.
I call that bitch a bitch and like live. That's my grind achievement.
Aubrey, I do have another question for you though.
Yeah.
Is there like a scene or something that you had planned kind of for the game at the beginning that kind of became obsolete or irrelevant later on that you didn't get to share with anyone?
Not necessarily. There's a lot of stuff that I ended up like working in other places or repurposing. Like the way I like lay things out is a lot of times it is when I lay out what I want a session to be, it is these are all of the points I want to hit in a session. The order, this is kind of in the order I want to hit them, but like rarely if there are specific scenes where I go, I need this scene to happen. So I can't think of any specific scenes off the top of my head.
Okay. So I'm trying to think of more questions to feed the audience with.
Oh, go ahead.
No, you go ahead. Go into tangent.
Oh, I was just gonna say there is a universe in which I played Demisa differently from the beginning, and also picked up on Lila flirting with her, where Lila and Demisa were something of a couple at some point.
You could have,
which is wild
in-laws.
because of Marrow.
I would have killed you. I'm sorry. That's enough.
But like in that universe, Demisa and Lila would have been whatever they might have been for longer than Mero knew that Lila was
Yeah,
their sister.
no, it's still on site. It's not on site, but like that's just kind of like hitting them with a Tamsin 2 plot twist. Like, please stop.
Imagine that along with Tamsin.
Oh my gosh.
At that point, they're just leaving for like 1 to 3 days. I'm out. I'm done with this shit.
What?
Mero
Getting a
retires.
bunch of cool people in your family. Why would you be upset with that?
Listen, you fucking know why. Don't play coy with me, Alyssa. I know where you live, and I'll be there in April.
I'll be there.
The whole party just becoming Mero's family, but like not found family, like literal, actual married into the family somehow or way.
We're all O'Sullivans now.
That's so fucking terrible.
Not just your mom, our.
Oh my god.
Your dad's not mom's, and you don't want mine.
I don't know. She seems pretty great. I read her book.
No, you don't want my dad. You want my mom, because you collect that.
Didn't Tamsin write the book?
Yes.
That's funny.
So, Tamsin, why'd you do that? No, I'm kidding. Like, out of character perspective, I get it. I respect Tamsin a lot. In character, I hate you.
As if Mero wouldn't write a horny book about their long lost love. The hypocrisy.
What long lost love? They have not had a long lost love.
Me.
Did you just neigh?
Yeah,
Like a
Cinnamon,
horse?
the horse, obviously.
Cinnamon is my long lost companion. Aubrey, I was gonna request, can I have a skeleton horse that is Cinnamon who died, but they're still alive because of the power of necromancy? And so I just have a bone horse and it's Cinnamon.
Baby. It'll be roasted cinnamon now.
I don't know.
Their new name is S'mores because it's like toasty.
No, s'mores don't exist because marshmallows don't exist.
Fine, it's just Cinnamon. Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
So, does anyone have any more questions to talk about the campaign as a whole?
I wanted to know about like character beats for like y'all where like stuff changed.
I mean, Demisa certainly went through quite a bit of changes through the whole thing, quite a bit of a character arc.
This was by design, yes. That was like the entire character concept is I'm like, I want to start her at the bottom and see where we go. Like, how deep of a hole can I start her in, and how desperate will she be to climb out? I didn't want to go scum of the earth because she had to play nice with others eventually. But I definitely wanted like just actually originally she started off as like I just wanted her to have like a famous relative who was terrible and she was getting in trouble just by association, and then I'm like, maybe she grew up with them after all, and maybe this, and then it sort of snowballed from there. And yeah, and so like the goal was to just have her start off terrible, but like with the awareness that, oh crap, I've been a terrible, horrible person. And like I think I've said this before, but like her original plan was to run away and then just get like enough money to find some small like cabin in the woods and just that's near like a little town, help the little town out when they need it, but otherwise just stay in her little cabin until the day she died. Like that was her whole plan.
You really could have found something there with Lila.
Really could have. She's like, oh, imprisonment in a little magical area you can never leave. Perfect. Put me in it. But yeah, then the party changed things. So, you know.
So what you're saying is Demisa spent the full first half of the campaign crawling out of this hole of hers, and spent the other half trying to get into a different hole, if you know what I mean.
Actually, arguably, she was not trying either of those things, or that second one, at least, until the party forced her to.
until season 3.
Yeah, because there was the
Mhm.
there was the complication, obviously. The complication to the
A
slow burn.
horrible thing to call your ex-wife.
You know,
Listen,
complication.
listen.
And then
I to this day, I think the surprise you're a homewrecker what thing is one of the nastiest things happened to me. But
I
like
was
the
surprised
funniest.
that because I was full because like the way I had set things up for like how Demisa left things with her wife, which was to say they had like ended with like a fight and a betrayal and like they weren't cool by any means, and then Demisa straight up chopped off the general's arm and like half died and ran away and was never seen again, right? Thought
But
she
look-
was dead. And so I expected the ex-wife to be angry, raging out for blood. And Aubrey came in and she's like, ha, she wants you back. I'm like, no, I've moved on. I'm like, what do you mean she wants me back? We're not compatible anymore. Stop it.
Look, this is a nation that's built on fighting, and you just proved yourself to be the best fighter.
Demisa having like the moral crisis of the century, being like, my life is a lie. Everything we've done is the worst. I've killed all of my friends. Like, oh, I can't do this anymore. And like, I gotta run away because I can't stay there and be that person. And her ex-wife is like, hey, hey, but like, hey, right? So yeah, emotionally, Demisa had divorced her like within a month. But just didn't expect to ever get to do it officially because she wasn't planning on ever seeing Erot again. And then surprise, there she was.
Yeah.
And
Surprise.
then she spent a season, almost an entire season, just working on herself. And then, oops, fell in love. And then spent almost about half another season
like
being like,
16
no,
episodes.
no. She said, no, thank you. So, no, thank you. But it's like, it worked out and we got our slow burn.
We did.
And I warned Aki many, many times. I'm like, it's going to be slower than you think.
I'm okay with slow burn. I really like slow burn. It's just you gotta like be okay with me being annoying in the background.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Because like the best part about a slow burn is being annoying in the background.
Oh, yeah. You and I were chomping at the bit.
Yeah,
For
like
sure.
I'm very happy. I'm very pleased with how long. Actually, I would have preferred if it took longer.
I was trying to.
Yeah.
Everybody else was like, no.
They didn't have it. Yeah, they weren't having it.
The rest of the party was fed up with our nonsense.
If anything, I wanted you to feel bad. Like for a while.
She did. You got your minimum. You got your minimum in. And a little bit extra.
Minimum.
And a little bit extra.
You are correct because
I would have been happy to go
minimum.
until season 4.
Same. I thought it would take until
that was my plan. Had my hand not been forced, I would have been like maybe around season 4. Or actually, the thing I really wanted was I wanted to like hit the death threshold, like hit 0 HP and come back, and that was what was the cause of confession. But
yeah, you've mentioned that point to me before.
Yeah.
Listen, I tried.
I know.
We're just really hard to kill.
We're really hard to kill.
Well, you had a heal bot with you.
I know.
That's the thing that makes it real hard.
Yeah. She not only had like a butt ton of hit points, she was also surrounded by healers, and then also independently had a bunch of ways to keep her from hitting 0 HP permanently.
Fucking, you know.
Just like a little jack in the box. You couldn't kill her.
No HP, left temp.
Yeah. Then HP, left temp. Left temp. Sitting on ghost HP was probably the funniest thing to ever happen, especially because it happened twice, 2 fights in a row. Was that the question? The question was her arc. That was the arc, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Did I answer it?
Yeah, we're talking
That
about
was
like
the arc
character
of all
arcs.
time, yeah.
Okay, cool.
Okay, I'm ready to be annoying now. Are you guys ready?
Yes.
Yeah, you go.
So I came into this game with literally no plan at all. I just had like 3 goals. One, I want to be an Asmar because 3 years ago when I first joined this game, that was my fucking trope. I loved Asmars like so much. Now I've changed. I've diversified my portfolio, but still like fucking love those guys. I was like, okay, Aubrey, give me the list of gods so I can pick a shitty parrot. And Aubrey was like, okay, hold on one sec, here you go. And I picked the
picked the
shittiest
most
one by
shitty.
accident. I didn't know Dawn was the worst. I just thought Death was cool. Actually, I did that for a joke because it's like, oh, my real life dad is dead, so my fictional dad is Death. Isn't that quirky? Picks the literally worst fucking man known to existence by accident from that joke. Anyways, my second thought with an Asimar was I'm going to just shamefully base this character off of an anime protagonist I really, really like. And I've talked about it quite a bit, but I'm going to talk about it more in depth. Is my favorite fictional series right now, I've not stopped reading it, is Welcome to Demon School, Iruma-kun. It's about a little guy who's an absolute pushover, whose parents are like, you know what, we like money, we're going to sell you to the devil. But the devil really just wants a grandkid. That's it. He's like really nice, really doting. And he's like, please become my grandchild. And Iruma's just like, okay, because he's a pushover and gets adopted by actually good parents, which I guess kind of happened in Blood of Kings, but that's a future point. So I was like, okay, so the main plot of the series is someone who's like out of their element, trying not to stick out too much. Not sort of from this world and trying to figure out how people work in this world correctly. And I was like, oh, that could be kind of fun. Just someone that's like full of like whimsy and joy and wanting to see stuff, but also be like, I have to act as normal as physically possible so no one looks at me funny because holy shit, I stick out like a sore thumb. I don't know that people eat still, like they're getting used to this. So that was like the main premise. And I was like, where is this character gonna go? I have no idea. I'm just gonna wait for Welcome to Demon School to continue. In the manga, they're like heavily hinting at Iruma becoming the Demon King. So I was like, maybe if like the game goes that way, I guess I can become the equivalent of the Demon King, aka take over the underworld. That would be pretty fun. But Aubrey said it's not going to go in that direction, so I guess I'll just see what's going to happen. Use the power of friendship, and that's all I had. The third thing, I picked Monk as a class for the sole reason that I saw all of the weapon options, got overwhelmed, and asked, hey, is there a class that I don't have to use weapons or armor or anything at all? Like, no spells, no weapons, no armor. I want nothing. I want the simplest option you can pick. And Aubrey was like, yeah, I mean, monks don't use weapons or armor. And I was like, that one. I do not want to have to think while playing this game. And then I realized that monks were really complicated. But I did not want to use a single weapon. That was my entire thing. No weapons, no armor, no bitches, nothing.
I gave you gauntlets.
That happened like several seasons later. I took the gauntlets when I was ready, but I was like, I have not played the system in literally forever. I actually had
you played a completely different edition.
Yeah, I played a completely different. Fun fact: Aubrey and I had to rebuild my character at the end of like season 1 because I forgot how the numbers worked in this game, and I simply did not have the stats aligned properly. So I was like, shoot, I got to rearrange my stuff right now. So Aubrey let me like rearrange a couple things and fix a few things. So I was like, oh, whoopsie daisy.
Remember, it was wisdom based in season 1.
Right? Wisdom. Okay, yeah, I remember like
basically
you're thinking 5e.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I thought the way that it worked was you're like for finesse attacks, you added your dexterity damage like in 5e, but you don't. You always add your strength. And I had no fucking strength. And I was like, oh yeah, it's funny because like I have no strength, but I'm precision damage. But Aubrey's like, no, you use your strength for that plus damage. I was like, oh, whoopsie daisy. I guess I have to be buff. My bad. So I
rolling into episode 1 with a 16 charisma, not charisma, wisdom.
Yeah, because I was like, wisdom is going to be very useful for me in the future because of like all the abilities I want to take. But I was like, I don't need it right now. I didn't realize that I need strength to do damage. My apologies. So I fixed that really quickly. Misunderstanding, very fair one because of how D&D 5e works. Because
it's very, very fair. We were all coming into the system, and honestly, everyone rebuilt their character at least once.
That's called not knowing the system, baby. But I came into this with just ripping off an anime character in a dream, and I have ended this campaign with a lot of different feelings, and I'd like you to know that Welcome to Demon School is still going strong. The main character is learning things, and they've become an archer, so that's a lot different than what I've done. I don't have a bow and arrow. I've deviated a little bit from the initial assignment, but also how could I predict that the main character is going to get a bow and arrow at some point? So, welcome to Demon School. The character is becoming more confident, has like a large group of friends that help them. So I guess that's similar still. Supportive parents. I guess that's similar still. They have a lot of cool family members, and there are a lot of other things and shit going on in there. And I'm like, I deviated from the original plan, but it's still pretty close in certain ways that I don't want to spoil the manga, but just trust me on that. Any other notes about that? Yeah, I didn't really have a lot of plans. I was just like, I want this, this, and this, and we'll see where it goes. And it sure did go somewhere. I would just make up the dumbest shit at 3 a.m. and Aubrey would be like, are you actually going to do that? I'm like, hey, can I do that? And he's like, okay, fine, I guess. And Aubrey has so much lore about the underworld and all of his information simply because I would not stop asking her questions at the worst time. I'm like, hey, so what's the flora and fauna like? Is there a day and night cycle? What's the time difference? What are these details? What's the construction like? Is there soil? How does this work? And I was like, please, this is a Denny's. Leave me alone. I was like a rat living in the wall, and every few seconds I'd like gnaw through the drywall and be like, Aubrey, I have another question before she could plaster it shut again.
It's Johnny, but it's just Tick.
Exactly. And I'm about to do the exact same thing with food in Aubrey's DMs for the next game. So be prepared.
I've been reading a lot about food in like Central Europe in the 1800s.
Ooh, noted. I'm going to do everything I can to cook good. I know how to make pasta in real life. That's literally about it. But yeah, that's where my character came from. It's also very worth noting that the grandpa that adopted the main character is just named Sullivan. So you can see why I picked them. You gave me a list of names to pick for my mom. I saw the Sullivan and I zoomed in like, oh, that's the name of the guy from the manga. I'm going to pick that. And then y'all pointed out it was Irish. And I was like, oh shit, my bad.
Oh my god.
Whoops.
Oh my god.
No. I knew which anime you were doing because you like fucking told me, and it was like just starting, I think, like to be released. But I knew it was manga. And then I started watching the anime like 2 years later because I'm watching it with my sister. My sister really likes it. The Sullivan part, that's how I guessed. On my own, in secret. And now that you've confirmed it, Thank thank you.
Everything about Mero's character is either a joke or a reference. I also like realized like Mero's name's really weird. Can I say a joke headcanon that I made that I've never actually materialized in words, but I just think it's funny if I share it with you guys now?
Yeah.
So Mero is like a very unconventional name, and we've all joked that no one would ever name their child Mero. So I'm like, okay, it's probably a name they pick themselves. But I'm like, but like, I shouldn't dead name my characters, but what do you think like an appropriate like name before that would be? And I just paused and put my head in my hands because I realized that Clay is an actual fucking name.
Well, you know what's interesting about Mero being made by Doan and named Mero is if you look biblically, Eve was made from Adam's rib.
Oh, okay. Good thing I don't believe in the Bible.
Yeah, it's just kind of funny, the bone bit and the creation bit.
And I thought it was funny because it was like, one, Clay, that's such a pathetic name. And imagine just naming your child that and then learning that lore. But that's also the same name as Dream YouTuber, which is even more disgusting.
Ew. Mero's dream confirmed.
Nah.
How dare you?
I know. That's probably the worst thing I've ever said.
Yeah, that's actual slander, man. I think
I apologize deeply.
It's okay.
The Mero.
Yeah.
But yeah, that is my tangent on I just pick one source of media that I enjoy in the moment, and I'm like, ooh,
That's fair.
and it's a good thing that I locked in my character for Noxlight because again, I've been watching Power of Potluck on loop, and I'm like, I can't do this again. Anyways, watch Power of Potluck, everyone. Ina's very good.
Okay. I've mentioned deviations for Estrella a few times. Um, but like I haven't mentioned all of them because they weren't relevant. So I'm just gonna just go off of like not in order, just like based on what I can remember off like the top of my head. The biggest deviation being that I wasn't gonna play her. Originally, she was gonna exist, but as like a kid.
Mhm.
I
Yeah.
was gonna play Calyx. And like the whole like little story that I sold Aubrey on was I'm still a bard. I am a traveling therapist, and I'm trying to break my own curse that is on me. And the idea was that I would progressively start turning to stone in the middle of the campaign. Um, and also, my husband would be after me because I ran away with just a note. I don't know if Stray would have actually ever been involved besides that really cute side NPC. Um, because I know that I wanted her to still be in college, and I didn't even name her at the time either. I just knew that's my kid. That was it. And then Ferris, who I had met like 3 times maybe prior, not in person.
Yep.
Yeah, just like playing a little bit.
We played a little bit of Monsters of the Week, a tiny little bit of D&D.
Yeah, and then Ferris said, "I'm gonna play a character who's inspired by Abby from The Last of Us," and then I said, "Yay!" And Ferris said, "Mm-hmm." And then I said, "All right, I'm changing my character." That's the greatest deviation. I played Estrella on a I already had like a backstory, so it was like, oh, I can just change it. So instead of like, like it makes more sense that like the kid wants to save the parent, right? And then Aubrey said that she thought the campaign was gonna actually be Critical Role long.
It kinda was.
Literally, yeah, motherfucker, you said Critical Role long. And I said, what? And then I added more shit like being related to gods. Because I thought we were going to be 1 season, 24 episodes. That's it.
Mhm.
2 seasons, maybe, because like we started like popping off, and I was like, oh, maybe we'll be 2 seasons. It's kind of cool.
Yeah, the campaign definitely got longer, like especially as we gained traction, people were listening, and I was like, well, I had an end in mind, but people are listening and enjoying this, so I could add things.
Yeah. But the idea is that, like I just
Mhm.
like, one and done kind of
Yeah.
vibes, right? So I was like, oh shit, let me continue. Other things besides that, because I feel like that's the most common one that I've mentioned before. I wanted to change Estrella's entire class to different things several times, not because I didn't like Bard, but because for some reason I felt not Bard like enough. And I thought, oh, just based on like how she is like morals wise and stuff, it might make more sense for her to be like a champion, or like just like something up, like straight up like wizard came to my head many times. We almost did it as well in season 3, but then Summoner came out, and I poked Aubrey and was like, "Can I do Summoner instead? Because it's charisma based, so like stat wise, it'd be perfect." Even though I'm high, Estrella's high charisma, high intelligence, I just wanted to be Summoner, but I thought I had to like convince Aubrey to let me be a Summoner.
Oh,
Either
right.
way, I did it. And then we debated, and by we I mean me in Aubrey's DMs debated very heavily over what my Eidolon would be, and I swear on my life, on my bearded dragon's life, I tried really hard to not pick dragon. I tried so hard to
I
stay
can
away from
confirm
the
this.
dragons. I was like, this is under the mindset I was gonna hatch the time egg and break the curse and then keep the dragon. The other dragons weren't showing up. They were gone. Okay? That's what this was. So I was like, I don't need any more. And so Rosalight was gonna be a construct originally, and I ended up getting my own construct. That's what That's what Sigrun is. Sigrun was going to be like, I was originally going to be summoning Sigrun normally. Sigrun was going to be my Eidolon. That was the original plan. That's why she looks so specific. That was like the whole thing. Then I thought
it was going to be like a construct that was in your dad's lab.
Yeah, and who needed help, and I'd be like, "I got you, bestie," and I help, and they were like, "All right, have you ever seen fucking Hellsling?" It was just gonna be that. I was just gonna have fucking a vampire, basically, but as a hot construct giant. You know, like these were the plans. And then we deviated because I wanted a pink crystal dragon. Really
We also
bad.
weren't even sure if Rosie was going to talk for a while.
I thought Rosie was gonna originally, because when we talked about dragons, we were talking about older as well, and then you gave me a child. The child was the biggest surprise because I thought I was getting a dude, like a whole, like that's a man, you know, like
But
I
no,
thought I was gonna get Zolzrum, like that kind of, like that's the age, okay, just some guy, but he's just Ken, you know, like just pink, you know, and then instead you gave me a baby, which makes sense because you did Joanna's stuff, and that's why I felt okay about losing my battle of will, because I'm a weak link sometimes, you know, and I really wanted the dragon like so bad, and that's why we were like, okay, well the fucking eggs are coming out of the sky. So, you know, this could technically be one, and then you gave me a baby.
You became a single mother that day.
I became a single mom who works 4 jobs. Okay, like just like that. Class change, that. Estrella ethnicity wise is my first one to be my like full ethnicity. Speaking. That was not the original plan. I was just gonna make her like, I'm a 3 mix Asian, as in I have 3 different like countries, ethnicities, whatever, cultures within thou. And 2 because these 2 are the most well known. And so Saite was supposed to be where Estrella, but we called it like something else. And then the prospect of putting Dumisa in furs came up, and I said, "Let's make it cold."
Oh my gosh!
Aubrey was like, "Can I put it in a mountain?" And am I a mountain? Because I am. And I went, "All right, let's do it." That's why Naxos is in a mountain.
Yeah.
I didn't know that about Naxos. That's so funny.
Yeah, like my power of simping apparently moves fucking origins.
Yeah.
But then Aubrey kept the island. Also, before godparent stuff, Estrella was just gonna be a really unwanted kid. That was the whole other thing too. The scars were gonna be given by her parents on purpose because she's a not wanted kid, and they threw her in a river. That was the that was the other part.
Then you connected yourself to gods, and then
I connected myself to gods.
And you spent so much time going around with your grandpa. It would feel really bad if he was just gonna fucking ignore you.
Yeah, and then you said he was Keanu Reeves. God damn. Yes. We didn't. Kyria didn't have a mom until season close to season 3. That much I knew. Because I was just like, yeah, no, like I'm not even that god. I'm quarter. And you went, nope. Well, I mean, technically, but like I thought it would be even more diluted. You went, nope.
Rin just got it on with some
Another
person.
god, yeah. And we were like, oh, okay, shit. So like I wasn't supposed to be related to him at all. I just am lucky because I'm lucky. Me, the person. And it ended up fitting very, very well. Try to think of any more deviations, because I know I had a lot for Estrella. I was gonna have her fuck Heron in
There was.
Don't make me hear those words ever again.
What?
Yeah, I was like, I'm gonna romance Heron. Actually, like that was the plan. And then I didn't because I felt bad. I thought of the implications because technically there's also now a new reverse. I did like after I thought about it for a while, and for a while, I mean at like 4 a.m. by myself. I would realize that the implications of like where Astrea's position is and where Heron's position is actually really fucking bad. Because I would just be taking advantage of not just a guy who's down, but he's also got like a fucked up arm. He's just real bad and real lonely. And I was like, damn, no, I'm not
His
gonna do
real
that
lowest
actually.
point.
Yeah, I'm not gonna do that actually. That's like it wouldn't be a fun simp anymore, you know? Like it would actually be really bad. And I just like I'm not gonna do that. So I did not. Definitely thought about it a lot. Like a lot.
I mean, I remember our conversations.
We exchanged Pinterest stuff. That's how bad it got.
Oh my god.
Yeah, like I was like, damn. Yeah, no, I was really thinking about it because up until like Estrella's feelings
Oh,
for
it's
Devisa
here for
were
causing the drama.
yeah, they were just stagnant, and I was like, I want to make you suffer a little bit more, but like I want the slow burn to play out. I already have Captain. Everybody loves Captain. But Heron
They're almost like a captain.
or Prince, technically. You know, like what I'd be such a dope girlfriend too. It's like here's your country back. Wink. I'd like, can you imagine? You'd never be able to make it up to me. But also just like, yeah, this shit didn't work out. Yeah, I think I got them all. I think I got them all. And I had like I drafted 14 different ways to kill Doan. And I went with the easiest but has a lot of meaning one. It was also the tamest out of the 14 because the one that I wanted to do really made Tick uncomfortable, and I rather have player safety over anything. I was still gonna get to kill the bitch, like so I was gonna have my satisfaction win.
I mean, Joanna had a few, especially like bringing her into Cyrene, because Joanna was already like a character I play because, as I mentioned before, Dustyverse, I replay characters, keep the same blah 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 blah. Joanna was actually a character that I played for a Monster of the Week game, like a home game. That actually I made after creating Nacho, because Nacho was actually the first of like this character stuff. And like, okay, well, Nacho's a ghost. I had to come up I came up with a really sad story for Nacho. It's like, oh yeah, the mom's like, oh, what if I played a mom and the mom's super sad? And I brought him to Cyrene, and like, oh, she's a monster hunter that got brought here to Cyrene. She doesn't know she's sad, so she's just like a badass. It's fine. And then like I was like, oh, you're gonna play her long term. I was like, oh, she's gonna be real sad. But that took some time. It wasn't until episode or season 4.
Yeah.
But when I first made Joanna, I actually did an investigator / fighter build. Because like her whole thing, like, oh, like she was a librarian as like her basically cover on Earth. That's a sentence. Yes. But like an actual librarian. So I was like, okay, so she knows this stuff. But then like I just, for my playstyle, I didn't really like fighter stuff.
Investigator also like needs a very specific kind of campaign to play them.
Yeah. And like jumping in like mid season 3 full times, like I played with it. It's like not for me. Change some stuff around after the fact. And the whole like becoming like a god, like made me really like come to terms like what I wanted her story to be, because like I always wanted her to like be able to like come back to Earth after, but like, oh, she's a god now of like this plane. That's like you can't just fucking leave. Except she was like, I chose protection and revolution because that just felt right at the time.
Mhm.
And the one thing that kind of stayed the same through it, and like it wasn't really like explicitly brought up, but you could definitely like kind of tell what was happening. Is like Joanna story that I wanted to tell was like basically like an immigrant mother that tried way too hard to protect their kid from just like everything bad, and that just ended up like stunting them in the worst way possible. Yes.
I mean, we know about Nacho. If
Yeah,
you played Nacho in Give Many Arms of Gas Hollow.
exactly. Yeah, same Nacho. If y'all listening didn't connect the dots, same Nacho. That mom is Joanna in Siren. The person they were looking for in Gas Hollow was Joanna. And so the growth and the thing that she had to like come to terms with here was learning to like not force or control the people they cared about life, worrying that they'd be hurt, and have to come to terms with you can't stop everything, but you can be there when everything happens. Which is why I wanted to come in and give all of your characters therapy.
And they
Which
needed it.
I think I got everyone.
I think you did.
I think I got everyone. It took a while to get Estrella.
Yeah,
Because
constantly
Estrella
ducking
had-
that therapy.
Because Estrella didn't have any problems. Gee.
Doubt.
Nah.
But yeah, and like the whole like by the time y'all are listening to this, you'll have heard the ending, like deciding to go back. I didn't know if I was gonna do that till like the day of that we recorded, because like I really wasn't sure, but like confirming that I'd be able to come back whenever kind of like made me feel more at ease, because otherwise that responsibility would weigh too heavy on Joanna.
We just got a god. Where the fuck they go?
Exactly. And like the god of protection and like revolution, what if someone needs to be overthrown?
Mm-hmm.
Wow, what
Estrella
a
can
wrap
sub
for
in.
Estrella.
What?
Oh, but Estrella's family is in charge of everything, and conveniently the god of revolution goes away. Okay.
Monopoly.
Look, man, we didn't do shit. And you just want to attack a whole ass marginalized family. But like, sure. I'm joking.
Oh, what about Tamsin? Did Tamsin take any, kind of deviations from the initial idea?
I think Tamsin just ended up being nicer than she was supposed to be. They also, I mean, my goal was also to sort of come in as someone older. And I mean, at the time that we came in, I think it was like everyone was extremely stressed, and Estrella was like killing herself with work. And so I was like, oh, Tamsin will be someone who like also does magic, but like takes good care of herself and can try and pass that along. So that's why Cherami is there. Like Cherami is a mobility aid and like an emotional support animal, creature, chair, friend. But yeah, no, that sort of went by the wayside. And also then we got the Lich dedication in Secrets of Magic.
Mm-hmm.
So that was not planned, but that was like, oh no, I'm never gonna have a chance to make someone a lich. And so that was really leaning into the unhealthy habits that Tamsin was supposed to be guiding other people away from, which, to be fair, I think she did still try to guide other people away from those habits. It just they got worse for her.
It was the do as I say, not as I do.
Exactly, like an elder.
Alyssa, remember when we were in our DMs and you were like, "Hey, could I have known your mom?" And I was like, "Do one better." And you're like, "Could I have dated your mom?" And I was like, "Do you want to be my mom's?" Like, we just kept escalating this shit with my mom until it was like, "Hey, can I be your fiance?" We were joking like, you can't bring Amir back because Australia will kill him. So it was just like, okay, well, if I can't romance you, can I romance your mom? And I was like, you have my consent, but go all in. And you're like, got it. Hey, Aubrey.
I was like, yeah, sure. This is great. This is gonna go over well to this party right now. I look forward to it.
It did not go over well. It was mental breakdown day.
It was hilarious to me.
Also, I feel like I need to defend myself on the Amir because it's been 2 years. And I probably should explain why I actually really fucking hate Amir. And it's not Alyssa's fault at all. I swear to God. In all textbook definition, I should probably really like Amir as a character, high key. However, unfortunately, Amir came at a very, very, very stressful time, both IRL and in the fucking campaign. And so Amir triggers me, and that's why I hate Amir.
Very fair.
That is it. That's solely it. High key, I think Amir is a fun little character. He's a fun little guy with actually a lot of stuff that probably could have like let's say Amir was here and not Tamsin, right? I think there's a lot of room like to grow in any direction, right? So like hindsight, very cool character, lots of potential. However,
and it's very valid.
yeah. That is why I dislike Mir. Mir reminds me of a very, 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 very fucking stressful time. And so I just chose to take it out on, on him. And you know what? Good thing I did too, because now we have Tamsin, and Tamsin's way fucking better than Amir. So
okay. I think I appreciate your opinion, but as a connoisseur of shitty men, I like Amir more. I love, you know me. I don't have to justify my point. Tamsin, great, immaculate vibes. Amir, pathetic man. I want him to be bred.
If Amir showed up with white hair, I'd be.
I would just pass away. I would look Alyssa straight in the eye and be like, "Yo, what the fuck, man?"
And yeah, at that point, it would be clearly targeted.
That would be super. Can't wait for Aubrey to introduce a twanky, evil, white-haired anime clown into the next campaign to target me personally.
I nearly did it.
Okay, but you have
there
to
was a long time. I very nearly had that character, and then I changed my mind.
You also have no idea what I have planned.
Yeah,
it just so happened.
Wait, Ferris, for what game? Because if it's Scions, I can't do shit but simp out of character.
Well, I did give you one in Scions, I did, but no, my Noxite character originally was one that would have.
Fuck you!
You were like, can I claim romance? Can I claim dibs on them? I'm like, I don't know if I'm playing them yet or not. It's just an idea.
I'm really
Alyssa does know one of the little white-haired anime rat men. They appeared in the game I ran for them.
Yeah. I mean, the whole next campaign setting feels extremely tick bait and extremely like rife for characters who are tick bait. So I'm excited.
Thank you. I love pathetic men. They're great. I love all women and I love pathetic men. They're adorable.
All I'm gonna say is I get in Ravenswood, I gave a very special NPC that was not interacted with, sadly. But like, why would you interact with? Actually, now I think about it, it made no sense. But she's there.
She's there, and hey, we can fit her in Tyrant.
I'm gonna find a way to fit her in properly.
I mean,
because,
I think we can figure her.
Yeah, it's me already introducing her as an NPC, deviating from what I wanted to play because I really like her. So we're good. We're good.
Mm-hmm. Who else hasn't answered the question?
Starlock.
Yes. So like I didn't have a solid character arc planned out for Groon. I work better with general concepts. So, fire heal bot. and a little bit on the chaotic end. What I did not expect was having to become more of like a nurse, or that I'm for some reason I'm imagining like the nun at the orphanage is not who I imagined, but like the good nun, not the scary nun that like beats the children stereotype. But yeah, I didn't see her life path going that way. Like, it makes sense with the general conceit of like where she was starting out, what her overarching goals or motivations were. But yes, I didn't see having to play a intentionally created immature character, like having to learn to mature and to become much more of a leader than she has any right to be.
We love our baby girl. We love our firebug.
She's so cute.
I feel like there was a lot less Grun was here and like season 4 than the rest of the seasons.
It was also just like implied at that point.
That's
How
true.
the hell are we gonna get all these was here's when we're literally fighting gods?
Stamp it onto Anne's forehead.
Exactly.
But the thing is, they like disintegrate and melt, and after sucks.
But now there's a spell that you can like sear it onto their soul and make them explode. So
Say, I
That's
swear
true.
to God, if Mero is in the underworld and they see enough people who have Grun with their stamp on their fucking souls, they're gonna come fist fight you.
You're gonna hurt Grun? How
like,
dare
Grun.
you?
Grun, please stop stamping the souls of the underworld with your sigil. They're dead. Let them rest.
No, but what if those are Grun's enemies? Like enemies of Grun, the goddess of fire, must meet death at the hands of a stamp.
Just stamp their flesh. You know how hard it is to squeegee the shit off of a soul? I gotta get them pristine for the next reincarnation. It's so much work. It's like a car wash, but terrible.
Just invent the car wash. The soul wash.
Just
Get a little
scrubbing them
innovative,
out.
jeez.
Imagine being reborn with like some sort of like a magical tattoo that symbolizes something. But when you get translated, it just says Grun was here because your past incarnation was Grun's enemy, and the stamp didn't get washed away properly between reincarnations because Mero was busy. And it's a whole plot point.
Birthmarks.
That's what birthmarks are. Holy shit.
My mic is cutting in and out. My bad.
You're good. I mean, yeah, everyone had such wonderful arcs, and I loved seeing all of them happen. And it's kind of fun when I think about like when I initially sat down to start writing the campaign, because I had an idea that had been sticking in my head for a while, is Prince runs away to become princess. And that's how I initially started writing.
Ooh, trans rights.
Yay.
You know what's actually
and
sorry, Aubrey, you know what's actually
You're
really funny now that I think about it?
Yeah.
I started this game cis.
Technically, yeah.
Yeah. And then
It's another
There's a lot-
egg that I've actively watched crack.
No,
Okay.
because you're right, because we watched it happen like time.
Yep.
it was the captain. The captain did it. Like, all of you were simping, and I was like, "Oh, what's this
Then
gender moment?"
Also, yeah, also the hilarious part of Aki, Dusty, and me watching Amelia's egg crack in real time.
Beyond.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, from Beyond. That was hilarious, actually.
Mm.
That was hilarious because we were like, "What's happening?" Oh,
No, as somebody who'd seen it happen before, my brain went, "Wait, is that what's happening?" And then it happened, and I was like, "Whoa."
look, all I remember is for Tick, and I hope you don't mind this. If you do mind this, we can take it out. But all I remember is it was like 240-ish, because I remember it was almost 3, but not 3. in the morning, by the way. And then you jumped into my DMs and he said, "So what do you mean you can just have all of the pronouns?" And I was like, who is stopping you? You motherfucker. But like, you know, it was
I didn't
it
know
was so
that. I was like, what the fuck does this mean?
you were so confused and so sincere. I was at first I thought you came in for a joke, so I was like getting ready to roast you, you know, like to make fun of you, and I was like, oh wait a minute.
Mhm.
Oh no, my bitch is sincere. Okay, wait.
This bitch is having a gender identity crisis at 3 a.m.
Oh dear. Yeah, no, for real. Like it was hilarious, but like also like look at you. You went and you found yourself.
Look at me.
Wow.
Honestly,
All I got was I got nothing. We're a podcast. But like you get a whole new gender identity. Mm.
you got the captain. What the fuck do you mean you get nothing? Do you know how many fanfics you have in your pocket now? Nothing.
Look
my
at all
ass.
these
You hear
dollar
this, Jared?
bills.
But yeah, how about we move on? Are there any specific other cast questions that we have?
Oh, so I have a question for you, Aubrey.
Yes.
Quickly, who was your favorite like NPC or enemy to play in combat? Like,
For
mechanically.
playing in combat, honestly, I think one of my favorite combats that I ever ran was the Remulus fight. Because
That was
Sorry,
a
I
good
missed
fight.
it.
it was so much fun of just being like popping up and doing fun things and just being just a terror and then having you all hunt me down.
The you popping up in front of Estrella and it's like, so I'm gonna roll a spell strike, and all of us immediately going, what?
That was good.
Yeah, spell strike. What was it? Literally an out of pocket spell strike.
Spirit blast.
Yeah, that hurt. But it's okay. I
Mhm.
did the same back. That's the one where I got like 200 damage, I think.
I think you did.
Yeah.
Because
I didn't kill because Joanna strike again. But like it was good though.
Yeah, that was a really fun combat.
And like honestly, like all of the gods were really fun because of how I ended up running them and trying to give them all their unique mechanics. Other combats I really enjoyed is that the combat from season 1 where you all fought all of the zombies attacking Vosk. That one was with the bridge and you all going up and down the bridge, and
The bridge combat is super memorable. Like,
Yeah.
I was just
Yeah.
listening at that point, and I still think about it.
yeah, that one was a lot of fun. In like the end combat of season 2 where you all fought against Maeve, who's trying to steal Serena, so you're just trying to playing keep away with a dragon.
Oh god, yeah. I have a question actually.
Mhm.
Any villain except for Talon, even though Talon's not a villain.
Mhm.
It's Theron that is, but we're just
Yeah.
accept Talon and accept Saoirse, who technically had it, but not really. Like she's getting it in theory, but like that's later. Which villain do you think? And this can be a cast question too, and I think about it. But which villain do you think, in your opinion, deserves or could have had a redemption arc? Because we had a lot of villains, guys.
Mm-hmm.
Dimple.
Dimple was a possibility, yeah.
Guys, I thought she was evil.
She was very evil. But like if things could have played out a little differently, and maybe if you'd interact with her more, and maybe things that like you didn't know, the stuff. I think if you did not get doxxed by Marrow and all of the gods were not aware that you knew their secret, you could have like done some like double agent, try to get close to the gods.
I just want you to know my entire Discord crashed. I come back to the first sentence being, if you hadn't been doxxed by Marrow, and I think that's personally very offensive.
Yeah, you probably could have. Theoretically, you might have been able to redeem Thorn.
I wondered about that one.
It was a possibility. It was a thing I thought about. I was like, it could happen. Like, he wants this, and maybe if you don't kill him, you can, like, you know, because he respects combat. Anybody else have any other villains? Like, even if you don't think they could have, any villain you might have wanted to see redeemed?
I'm gonna preface this by saying this is a joke, but what about like Reggie?
Regicide. Look, I didn't expect that joke to be like a fucking hit here. Okay,
it kept coming up.
We didn't kill so many of Reggie's, you know.
we just kept doing it. Like, holy shit.
Comedies in 3s and 4s and 5s. And
Okay, this isn't a character redemption. This is gonna come out as a fucking whiplash of a sentence to start, but it's related. So in Miraculous Ladybug,
Go on.
they had a recent special where they essentially had the whole trope of like, oh, in a parallel universe, Ladybug and Cat Noir are evil, and like Hawkmoth is called Betterfly, and he's secretly good. And every single fucking day when I go to sleep, I think about an alternate timeline where Dawan's not a complete fucking asshole, and it's just actually nice. And I'm like, that's so out of character, but like, the Miraculous Ladybug theme song being sung by Gabriel Agreste, the most evil rat man I know, is I'm just like, if there was a parallel universe, I think Astray would want to kill this man even if he wasn't evil in this one, just from the vibes alone. I think about this on the daily, by the way. It does not stop. I don't want to get redeemed, but I just keep thinking of that, and I think it's relevant. There's an AU where they make Astray a emo. We're all emo.
No, don't you dare make me think about that.
Astray
most-
singing
the most-
My Chemical Romance.
I don't know a single song.
Black Parade.
I just had to add that really quickly because I think if you took all of Dewan's personality traits and flipped them like completely opposite, he would actually respect women, and that is terrifying to think about.
He used to be a very well respected hero, and then things, you know, bad things happened, and he never sought therapy.
What happened to him? Like, what actually happened? He killed people? Pussy, get over it.
Yeah, special.
Yeah, what happened to him? Like, what caused him to become an incel?
It was more of like the group as a whole falling to like the corruption of the power and not following the rules.
You want to know what my theory is?
Yeah.
Always.
See how Thanaton fucked up his soul splitting ritual? I think that's the issue. That's why there was like such heavy betrayal corruption from the dragons to the false gods, because they're not receiving all of what they should. And what gets replaced we could who knows what gets replaced, but like it's sort of like when you emphasize, like for example, when someone's scared and you emphasize and focus on the fear, people do irrational things. Like multiply that by like at least 100 because they're gods, things happen. And I think high key, it's because Thanaton fucked up the first time, and so technically he kept producing a pantheon of fuck ups.
Oh no.
Like
This
they
goes
could,
poorly
they
for
were
us.
like it's already proven that their bodies were unable to handle power. That's why mass genocides needed to be held so they could absorb the souls and fix themselves. we did not have that problem. Or, well, you all have that problem. I don't.
Yeah, and then
Because
there's
straight up,
this.
it was pretty okay with that.
And
So
all of them like disintegrated or had their bodies unravel as they're kind of holding themselves together through magic.
yeah, high key, I feel like giving it up willingly before we reach the 1,000 cap is the only way to really fix it. Like, is the only way to keep what's left of us. But also, Estrella didn't fuck up hers. I don't know if that means she's fine and her siblings aren't. But like in this theory, I mean, but like that's what I think is the big issue. Thanaton fucked up. Every pantheon since has been a pantheon of fuck ups.
Wait, hold on. Aubrey, I have a very important question right now.
Okay.
Because, like, Aki has just, like, jogged this thought of, like, yeah, if you have to split, like, a soul or souls into pieces, there's a chance of fucking up. And creating someone out of clay does that. So did Dewan fuck up?
I don't know. Do you think he did?
What kind
Look at Mara. Look at Mara.
They're nice.
You gave them anxiety.
You can
That's
be nice
okay,
and
we all-
still a fuck up. That is majority of the world. I'm just saying, look at Mara. Look at the way they stand. You know, like it's. I'm never gonna forget Meryl going, "That's what a tree is." Like ever.
What's a fruit?
Yeah, I'm never gonna forget that. I'm never gonna forget that ever.
Good. I'm so mean to them, but I love them because I'm like, I'm gonna bring out the most weird, like, problematic person, and they'll take normal pills as the game progresses.
Yeah.
Some normal pills.
But yes, let us move on to the listener questions that we received. And the first one on the list is from Amy Zona from Brazil. So hi, Amy.
Hey, shout out,
and they ask, what are the party's plans now that they're all gods? How are they going to be different from the false gods in terms of influence, tenets, faith, and all of that stuff?
I feel like we talked a lot about this off mic.
I feel like you did, yeah.
And the epilogue a little bit, I think we touch on
Yeah.
it. I don't know if as detailed as we have in off my conversations.
This is a joke introduction that I just thought of really quickly, but under my rule of the underworld, aka under Mara's rule, there will be at least 2 less women trapped in the basement.
That's already such an improvement.
Well, for now.
At least 2, but never not 1. Never 0.
Listen, no one's going to be
Same.
trapped in that basement without explicit consent and a safe word.
You know, ironically enough, I think Grun can say the same thing.
Hey, OP, what the fuck does that mean? Oh, wait! I just remembered. That took me a second. My apologies. I forgot about Winston and Rose's entire backstory when we first met them. My bad.
Winston and Rose.
The best NPCs.
They're very shaped. They're the guys of all time.
You know, I forgot that Lexi had to do with Winston and Rose. I remember Lexi, and I definitely remember Winston and Rose because they're like the best.
Mm-hmm.
But the connection got lost in my head at some point.
Yeah, you met Alexi, who was just Gaston, you know.
I mean, Rose was also just
Oh
Belle.
gosh,
when you think
that's
about it.
right.
Yeah. Just the. I keep calling it the casual kidnapping. It was not casual.
It's not.
Oh,
We burned a house down, and he deserved it.
yeah.
Grun personally burned a house down.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I stand by it. That was nice.
Yeah. No, fully supported.
Joanna was there and said, "Good job."
Also, a lot more floor donuts in the orphanage.
Listen up,
That's-
orphans. Eat your donuts. But sir, please, they're on the only orphans get to eat floor.
Oh Goddess Groon has forbade us from putting them on the table.
It looks like
It
Grim's
is an
gonna
act
give you a lot
of-
of extra work, huh?
An act of treason. Nay, blasphemy.
Give thanks to the floor donut, for they are gifts of Groon.
Jesus Christ, I'm literally picturing a bunch of goblins that are like, we worship Groon. And and this is a Groon run household, and all donuts.
Why are all the orphans? Why do they all have a Cockney accent?
There's gonna be like
I love using the Cockney accent as like my version of the Victorian starving boy.
there's gonna be like a heretical cult devoted to Groon, except they believe in donuts on the table. They use plates for their donuts, which is why they got excommunicated from the main religion. They're like, no, Groon would want this.
But yeah, so you're not going to do the thing where you grab power and never give it up.
Yeah, no, that's a big no.
Mm-hmm. Plan on giving it up unless my inevitable confrontation with the Tyrant of the Dark Star goes south. And when I say that, I mean Straya's gonna spend time in space. That's her void. That I picked it for a reason, but also because she kind of just tampers with the universe by mistake a lot, so it makes sense. But yeah, eventually we'll give it up. But I think what I have headcanon is that she's gonna separate her little godhood stuff and her mortal life because she's a very public figure as a quadruple princess. And we're just gonna separate that like as much as possible. And if people are like, "Hey, what about your hair?" She'll be like, "Oh, I was just blessed." You know, like I think she'll run with the Asimar thing, but she's not gonna run with the godhood thing. And eventually, she'll fake her death so that way she can just chill. You know, she can just chill away from all of this, live out the rest of godhood, doing what she needs to do.
Oh, hear me out.
Yeah.
Hear me out. Estrella fakes her death, but there's some people who really look up to her, and they plan an entire trip to the underworld to try and save her soul.
Exactly.
Leading to Barrow having to fucking lie about it. Like, oh yeah, she already left them. Yeah, but they can't lie for shit.
No, listen. As being lawfully chaotic, Estrella would let it happen and see us how far can they get, and then when they actually get to the underworld, you're gonna have a surprise visit because Meryl's not gonna know. I'm not gonna tell you shit. The only person who's gonna know is my wife, and like just and my sibling, but like my wife, and you're gonna be like, why are all these? Who the fuck are these people? Why are they in the underworld? The bitch never actually died. Then Estrella will pop up and be like, okay, so I didn't expect you guys to get this far. Gold star stickers for everyone because we invent stickers. Here's my secret.
Just trying to clean up a whole chair with snacks. And I was like, "Can you not do this in my house?" And she's like, "I'm not doing this in your house."
I plan on Estrella being chaotic, like even in godhood, but like not blind chaos. It's just kind of funny. It happens where sometimes. She is technically the sun god now, so I hope that there is really fun like legends and stuff. I'm super interested in like potential myths and legends that like formulate from all of us. Like I have like a whole bunch like that I have personally had canon. I told Ferris one where I was like, yo, what if because Dumisa might be a public god and Straya is not. So like what if it's like, you know, the god of families and fucking whatever the fuck Demisa's thing is, fell in love with this princess because she's so pretty, but also like kind of established peace between two nations a couple times. And then it was like, wow, I'm impressed. Marriage. Like, I was like, I have this whole fucking thing.
It's not entirely not how it went.
Yeah, I know, but like, just like as legends, you know, like 200 years from now, that would be the myth that Aubrey pops out of nowhere when we succeed in a recall knowledge, you know?
I think the one big thing that Tunisa is going to do differently from the old gods, this is half a joke, but also serious, is that if her wife gets in a battle with people trying to kill her, she will show up. There was one other couple, the old Pantheon, and they did not show up for each other, and they died because of it. That's not happening with Tunisa. She will be there.
They were separated at that point.
That sounds like a problem for them, and it caused their death.
For Joanna, I think the big thing is the fact that there is a god of revolution is a big change as is. Except she just like how the whole like dealing with the false gods, and like we also had to like be careful because there were still people that were like deeply like invested in them and believed in them. Just like there's a god of revolution now. Question these people. You do not have to listen to tyranny anymore. And also more soup kitchens. Less floor donuts. That's going to be a big contention, I feel, actually, between if anyone follows Joanna and follows Groon. One's super for floor donuts, the others are not.
The donut wars.
Until like Joanna has to show up with Groon on her shoulder, just like, hey, just like be chill. Just like don't do this.
You can do both.
half on a plate, you know, like
there's like a whole Romeo and Juliet like subplot somewhere, and the gods like show, but like, yo, it didn't have to get to this point. These are floor donuts.
I like that Alyssa is quiet about Tamsin changing and deviating from the false gods in their reign in godhood.
Nah, Tamsin's good. I mean, she's not gonna get like branded as heretical. And that's sort of all she needs. Slash, I think that she's not super public as a god. Like, she is a lich god and a librarian. Like, girl is not in the public eye very often.
Mm-hmm.
I believe it.
Would there be books written about Tamsin?
Probably.
That makes the most sense, right?
Like corny books, or
Yes, but like all of them.
The tables have tabled.
Look, I'm
the
very
new god art, right?
listen, no, because that's a call out on me. Listen, I've been wanting that old bitch in that getup for a while. You just said do whatever you want, Aki. Just give the Vivian vibes. I delivered. I gave you a Tamsin that her wife will write the next horny fucking book. Okay, that's what I gave you.
Yes, incredibly.
Also, I firmly believe that the quote unquote evil gods out of the new True God pantheon, and when I say evil, I mean like if bad people were gonna rise up and then pick a godly figure and be like, this is who we follow, this is what we're doing. It's going to be Estrella, it's going to be Groon, and it's gonna be Tethweir.
Those are probably
Leia's is like fate and stuff. I can see that shit as well. That's the four. You know what? No, Marrow as well, because unfortunately, some people are just real crazy about death in the wrong ways, and I feel like
pain and death is the worst combination to put on.
Exactly, they're gonna be doing some weird shit and Marrow is busy. So when Marrow comes up and finds a tree, it'll be a really fucked up one and be like, oh,
But
It's like, oh,
that's
so-
for me. Why is that tree covered in skin? You know, like you're just gonna say weird, like, you know, weird things are gonna happen. And I think that's what's gonna happen.
Mhm.
And because you can't stop people from being people.
Yeah.
And needing to change things to fit their weird agendas. But I think it's gonna be those because I feel like everybody else is just kind of like they're just put in a category. I'm sorry, y'all. You're in the chill box. And the reason why I say no for Tamsin is because Tamsin is going to be a secret god. And, like, you know, like you have to really fucking look for Tamsin.
So that actually begs an interesting question because there's who worships various gods. There's also who do gods bestow powers on, and that's so who requires sanctification.
Okay, hear me out. I have thought about this for Estrella. That's why I said evil people would worship her. Estrella would let it happen. Estrella would give power to whoever asks for it. But when she sees you're going way off. Like Jim, this is more about protecting your family. You're trying to, I don't know, do really bad things.
look at Misa, you know?
No, that's when she's gonna pull a real god move and make other followers of her aware of this so they can go take care of it. Because I want to keep her as vague of a goddess as possible with like just I like leaning into the chaotic lawful nature of her. And so it makes sense that with like two of her domains being super fucking vague on how far you can take it, that being passion and void, it makes a lot of sense for people to just have a lot of freedom with it. And if she sees them do bad things, she's just going to send some people to take care of that. And if they can't take care of that, then she can just really show up and do a divine intervention. And that's how I think it should be for someone like her.
So would you be not require sanctification and allow it to either holy or unholy?
I think so, yeah. Because I think Estrella's been pretty on like bruh, she was like the chillest person in the party aside from Joanna when you think about it. Like she was the chillest when y'all showed up. We had a very clear murderer, but like she was like swearing to God she was a chef. We whatever the fuck Mara was, sus
Autistic.
Catwoman and Groon, who when you introduced us, Groon, you said I did not start that fire in the temple. That's what you said.
Yep.
And Estrella's like, I'm actually here because this is a professor in my college.
Yep.
Very non-judgmental. So I feel like she'd continue the non-judgmental thing, be like, you want power? Have power. What are you gonna do with it? That's a lot of war. No more power. You know,
Yeah.
it's like one of those things. But also you have power. Oh, look at you making art. That's so cool. So many naked women. I love it. You know, like it'd be like one of those things.
Mm-hmm.
Fair
like
enough.
very whimsical.
I think Groon would require holy sanctification, at least in the clerics, because of the whole redemption thing and
Mm-hmm.
being a better Gabo.
Yeah, just please no skin trees.
I'm telling you, Marrow is so they would help because someone's asking them for their help. But they also wouldn't know if the help is like genuine or not, or like after a couple years, you know, like what if the help becomes like really bad? Like I don't know. I prayed to Marrow every day and you didn't answer once. So skin tree. You know, like you just
Yeah, I feel
And-
like they probably have a lot of weird ass cults, but unless they're like if it's a cult, it's a problem. If it's like a group of weird friends that are like 6 a.m. making a giant bone pile and reconstructing bones like living creatures, it's just like that's harmless mostly. Mostly
cults for Marrow.
bigger problems like the people like I don't know killing a lot of people and being like sacrifice, like please don't do that.
You're making more work for me.
Yeah, exactly. You're making more work for you, and it's really unethical. But I feel like in terms of the vibe Marrow has, now that I'm thinking about the domains versus what I had in mind, I was like, with all like the title I had in mind and like all the vibes, it's just like something like almost peaceful. Like Dewan, I'm pretty sure did something, which is kind of giving him more credit than I actually should be. But I feel like he did something at least. Like Aubrey, he did something, right?
Probably.
Marrow would definitely focus on like, yeah, dying sucks. You do need to mourn. There is a god of mourning. But also, wasn't it really fun that you got to be friends and they're going to get to be able to like move on and then get to rejoin the stage as a different spirit? And it's like, it's kind of like, hey, it sucks. You can cry, but be happy that you had them, you know? And it's kind of different from Dewan, who was just like depressed all the time, you know? So like trying to like be like, yeah, people die. I'm gonna be upbeat about it though, you know? Like bring snacks to the funeral type of guy. There's probably also like subsects of people who are definitely like, oh, that person is this god has all these domains and all these things. And like just it's either people who are like completely normal and get it, and then there's some people who are just like really off the fucking rails with it. And it's like, as long as they're not like killing people, you can be kind of weird. It's fine. I was weird once. I'm still very weird. It's like, sure, you could be autistic about this. That's fine. In terms of shut the fuck up, Ferris. You read that sentence out loud, Ferris.
No, I don't want to interrupt. It's late.
Maybe read those fucking words. But in terms of
You're
like
the one who picked death and pain. What do you want from me?
Okay, I did pick pains. That does kind of come from there. But in terms of like divine sanctions, at least for those domains, you do have to be kind of careful who you give power to because there's a very chance for things to be a slippy slide. So it's like, yeah, are you chill? Are you following these like edicts and not killing people willy-nilly? You're good. Are you cringe? Die. Except don't actually. Just go seek therapy instead.
Yeah.
I had a bunch of like little folklore ideas where it's like if you plant a tree on someone who passed away, then if you eat their fruits, you can like get their memories from when they were alive. And it's not true, but it's like a fun little superstition. Or if you leave bodies near a certain statue, you might find like little favors or fortunes for making the psychopomp's job a bit easier. And just kind of a lot of fun little whimsical folklore stuff. And if you get to the underworld, you get kicked out, but like nicely. You can get a tour first, maybe, if you're very polite about it.
Okay.
Sorry. One last thing. This is a joke, but I'm pretty sure it's also reality. Marrow does keep their identity as a god like as secret as they can, but you know when you're the god of death, you want to be very, you know, face to face. Like, yeah, I'm gonna be handling this. Do you need therapy? Are you doing okay? Do you want a hug? So like people who have died would know them. If they came back to life, it'd be like you. But probably no one would know outside of people being like, that's an eccentric looking person, except for one person who DoorDashes food to the underworld because Marrow cannot cook. And the DoorDash guy is paid so well, he is not about to snitch.
It comes straight from Doomy's kitchen.
I believe that was most everyone. I think. Yeah, it was everyone. So yeah, we'll move on to the first question from Ultimate Columbo Respector. Will we see more games set in Cyrene's future or past? Yes.
Yes.
You plan a future campaign. I have a whole character plan already, by the way, so I hope so.
I have so I only told the rest of y'all about one. I ended up having two plans.
Nice.
So I have two future campaign plans to run for us. One of them super fun and I would say near future. The second one is in a more distant future. Am I allowed to mention anything else? Should I mention anything else? That just be it.
You.
You know what? Just to like, I don't know. I guess build hype.
You know?
Yeah, I guess to build hype and to throw it into the universe, so that way the universe reminds me later on. And by that I mean usually it beats my ass, but like that's fine. Near future, Feywild. distant future, Ichraset. And yeah, that's my vibe.
Don't make me pick between two babies.
No, we're gonna play both, babe.
No, like if one's set in Ichraset in the future, I'm like, ooh, I have like that one character I've been thinking about, but also Delilah, I miss her so much. What the fuck?
Oh, I'll tell you more about it. I will tell the rest of us about it. So that way we don't take up more time
Yeah, okay, I'm
for
sorry.
this. I'll tell it more. I have you in mind. Is all I'm gonna say.
Don't do this to me. I have so many fucking.
And look, I have an idea for Cyrene once Starfinder 2E comes out, and that's in the future because we've got Tyrant of the Dark Star. I don't know exactly how long. I don't think Tyrant is going to be as long as Blood of Kings was. But we shall see for sure on that. We have not even started. We haven't even done the session 0 for that yet. Yes, so we'll move on to the next question again from Ultimate Columbo Respecter. If this is mentioned to the show, but what is the time difference between Joanna's Earth and Cyrene? Is it a 1-to-1 or 3 years on Cyrene is a month on Earth or something? It's not as extreme as like the Underworld versus Cyrene for sure. But there is like some time difference, I think.
Yeah,
What's the exact time difference, Aubrey? I have to know so I can run some numbers.
God. I
feel like we've talked about it before. But like, I also remember like it not being extreme.
It's more of like it's something along the lines of like months rather than years kind of thing.
Yeah, because Joanna's been in Cyrene for a year.
So it's maybe been like maybe a max like 2 years that you've been gone.
Yeah, that tracks.
I think it's like 2 months Earth time for 1 month Cyrene time. I think.
That tracks.
Sorry, repeat that. I was reading a message about Doctor Who.
It's 2 months Earth time for 1 month in Cyrene.
Okay, so like 2 years to 1 year. 2 years of Earth.
Also 2 hours to 1 hour. Well, maybe not that exact.
I mean,
something like that.
Kind of close.
Timey-wimey.
Involves math. And then we get to the next question from Ultimate Columbo Respecter, which I'm very interested to hear. Among the party, who'd be who in the SNL Lonely Island sketch, Dear Sister?
Gosh. I don't know who could be who.
I need you to know that I knew of the meme. I didn't know that that's where it originated from. I watched it literally right before we started recording this. That shit is funny.
It's hilarious.
So stupid. It is such a time capsule of what the humor was like and how that same humor is coming back with Gen Alpha. It's the best.
My notes say, what the fuck did I just watch?
Aubrey, I have some bad news. You said 1 year on Cyrene is equals to 2 years on Earth, right? Which means 1 year in the Underworld is equal to 5 years in Cyrene is a comparison I believe you made, which means 1 year in the Underworld is equal to 10 years on Earth. And if Midas has been in the Underworld for 125 years, has 1,250 years from Earth. Which means this bitch is from like the 900s.
I never specified for when Midas was from.
Did she go back in time then?
I don't ever remember if I specified what like time period Midas was from.
Also, no, she clearly wasn't in the Underworld the whole time.
Yeah,
there's books about her on regular Cyrene.
Yeah, she only shouldn't spend that incredible amount of time.
I remember the number being about 125 years, though.
I don't have the number in front of me, so I don't remember. And time is made up; it doesn't matter.
Less than one Jeremy Baramy.
Time gay. You give me numbers, I do the math.
So, Marrow is Andy Samberg in the Dear Sister.
That's
all.
I don't know any of those people. I just think it would be really funny if they were all Talon because he's a time wizard and it's just all him but from different points in time.
Well, that's also funny.
I actually listened really closely to the letter at the end. Not much characterization, but Groon would be Eric, who I think was Shia LaBeouf, but who heard gunshots and came in like an idiot, like, hey, there's funny thing.
I feel like
And the person that they shot first, that's definitely Tumisa.
I was gonna say, I'm like, I think Doomy is what is that? Bill Hader? Is that who that is?
Yeah, who
Yeah.
went writing the
That
letter.
was exactly who I was gonna say. I'm like, yeah. In the
Writing
middle of
the-
writing a letter to her sister.
Yeah.
Estrella is the woman who kept getting shot because because that's how all of your problems hit her many times in rapid succession.
This is also just like the going back and forth of like Dumisa and Marrow being the shit out of each other because of emotions.
Yeah, I think
And then-
Joanna and Tamsin are the two cops at the end.
Yeah, just like
Just
they
coming
come
in like perfectly fine, and then all of a sudden getting shot by everybody else's emotions, and Marrow is the gun.
Tracks.
We've done
Yeah.
it.
figured it out.
We solved your puzzle, Ultimate Columbo Respecter.
And our next question is from Alexandria. I always have trouble. I had immense trouble taking notes while listening. All of my TTRPG games I've ever played, either side of the table or in my head. World, story, all played sessions, everything. Looking to run a few more. Wondering how everyone on the team that run games keeps notes for their players.
We
Because I'm not sure I
In
can
character.
add any more fully written campaigns to my brain without losing some. There's now any systems like World Anvil or just general suggestions.
Yeah, no, I keep my notes in character. And so I actually write like journal entries, but then anything that happens that would be out of character knowledge, I just summarize it as it's going and make a little like note being like, this is out of character. I won't know this. But otherwise, the reason I started it with Duisa was to track her emotional arc, because that was going to be very important to the character, since she was all about emotional growth. That was the whole character in a nutshell, with big, beefy emotional growth. And so having it be a first-person journal entry style of note-taking was really helpful for me. And then I've kind of kept that up as we go forward, like with other characters like Tanith and stuff, because it's helpful to get a little glimpse into their headspace, and it helps with like character bleed and stuff like that too. But I've also, if it's important to keep close track of like clues or people or places and stuff, then I tend to highlight them or underline them or whatever as soon as we encounter them, and then at the end of the session I will like take all of the highlighted information and summarize it down by person, place, or thing, and location. That's a place. Sorry.
Sorry, you go first. You go first.
All right, I'm terrible at taking notes, but on a public player information side, I've been trying to push y'all possibly to doing this with the next campaign. Is like Google Docs is amazing because you can have like multiple people write in it and you can search it. So while it's not necessarily as good from the DM side, for players and the DM putting information that the players would in character remember but might not remember week to week, Google Docs is really good.
Yeah, I have a full world doc for Noxlight for the next campaign, and that will be updated with NPCs as you meet them and other important information that you might need to remember. But also, we'll probably try to have some sort of just general recap doc.
Yeah, I volunteered to write that for you.
Nice. So for Bach, hi Key, this is me. I'm a very paranoid person, and I've been in very bad games before with very bad people. So we started, and I did not know two of our like castmates This is not Alyssa and Dusty, by the way. This is season 1. And so I made a giant doc for myself that also had all the party funds and stuff like that I would share like screenshots of to the party when it came to like, oh, do we have money? And be like, yeah, this much. And I kept very good track of that because I did not trust y'all. I've had someone fiddle with shit like that before or delete everything when they would leave. So yeah, like I was like very paranoid about us just never keeping it, never having notes, you know, like I'm very, very, very paranoid about just like big sabotages like that. So didn't trust y'all. Obviously I trust y'all now. And so I'm gonna push for a shared document that will have, we can all touch it and add notes to it. And of course fuck around with the party funds and all the other fun and fresh loot that we get and stuff like that. Because that's fun. Also on Google Docs actually. So I'm picking off of you as well on that.
Worth adding that Google Docs also has like tracking of who made changes and when, and keeps older versions of the files.
That's
so
true.
as long as
Yeah,
the file
yeah.
is stored with someone that you can trust, you don't have to worry about sabotage.
Oh yeah.
Even if they deleted, the old versions are still there.
Yeah. And one tool that I have started using this year for stuff, and I've been working slowly on a map for Noxlight is Kumu, which you can do like relationship maps on. I've made one for our upcoming vampire campaign that has NPCs information, how they know each other, who is related to who, so the players can pull it up at any point and be like, who's this bitch? And like, who's this bitch, and like, how are they connected to everything? And I will have something like that will update as Tyrant of the Dark Star goes, adding NPCs that you meet and their connections, so you can always pull that thing up and you'd be like, yes, that is that NPC, and we met there. And this might be a thing that gets shared on Patreon.
My other ways to keep notes was I have a Discord server for myself that I use to keep track of things, and I have a whole section dedicated to OCs, and Estrella has a very big one, and it has things like, you know, if I needed to list things that I wanted to make sure I get done and then remembered to do, that's what it has. It has important links or screenshots that I might need, either for art purposes or for other things like being able to turn into a dragon. We used very different things, sort of like we used a mashup of 2-3 things. And so it was like, okay, well, there it is, all of it at once. And then just a bunch of other things as well. I'm a monologue girly. So I write I write monologues or questions or answers to scenarios that I like to think about. And then I have them ready for me to just jump around um, and stuff like at will. I also use my Discord specifically as like a timeline because it dates everything, and it's kind of nice to see how long I've been keeping it up with one character. And lastly, my private little character specific Discord is super great for when I make Pokemon teams. And I remember, you know, like I can't keep using this Mon in all of my teams because I like them. You know, like I need to have diversity for myself, but also I need to make sure that the party has Pokemon teams.
Yeah.
Grun gets Volcarona. Thank you.
Yeah, and I will second the Discord thing. I also have a Discord that I use for like all of a bunch of notes for myself. It is where I keep like important information. I actually have the entirety of Box Season 4 written out in it. That's where I wrote it out. And same as a lot of my projects. And I have one specific like channel that is just idea dump. I just like I throw things in there and I come back to them later and wonder about the context.
Yeah, that's a fun thing to have.
Like where I just come across where it's just like Lancer, but it's Project Freelancer, and I'm just like, what? When did I think about this?
Yeah.
So I am very bad at taking notes. I forget some details here and there with stuff that you guys are very enthusiastic about reminding me of when I forget them. But for a lot of overarching stuff, for 3 seasons of content, or 4 seasons of content, I have a pretty good memory for just that happens on the account of this involves my OC and I'm obsessed with them nonstop. So I tried to take notes. I actually opened my notes for Goblets and Gays weekly notes and then noticed my Michael's shopping list and an important Blender note that I had completely forgotten about that was really important for file printing. I was like, oh shit. But in terms of notes, like even for the own D&D campaign that I run, my notes are just I go into either my DMs or my players' messages with me and search for a specific term relevant to what I'm trying to remember and see if I confirmed information earlier. I don't take notes. And I feel kind of bad, but I think I do pretty good at remembering at least the basic important stuff that I need to keep track of. Like there's some tiny niche things I'm like, I'm pretty sure it was that way. Like my memory is pretty solid, but there are some things that it's like I can be very easily gaslit. Like I can be incredibly easily gaslit. I am not joking. So some things like I'm pretty sure that happened, but also sometimes I have really vivid dreams where something happened. So I'm like, fuck. My touch of reality is very bad, is a full confession. So sometimes I need corrections, but I just remember everything. But if you really don't remember, if you thought you asked your DM just to reverse search the messages, Aubrey, please never delete her DMs from the internet because I won't have shit anymore.
Yeah, in a like for me as the GM and the main editor, like that actually helps. I write most of my session notes when I go back and edit. Go back and edit stuff because I can just fucking pause it and just write notes and then continue on with what I'm doing.
My D&D players don't know the entire game is held together by Scotch tape. It's entirely in my head. There's not a single note about this campaign existing anywhere. Spoilers, good luck finding them. I'm not gonna find shit.
Well, our next question is from Alyssa, a competent heterosexual.
No, you're not.
Who could that be?
I don't know. And they ask, how kissable is the Tyrant of the Dark Star, though? And I just saying, really depends. But, you know, you're welcome
Depends
to try.
on what, Aubrey? Oh, okay.
Depends on who. Grun says, ew.
Wait, hold on, Aubrey. I have an actual question about the game because I have one coherent note in this document. It just says girl name in like all caps, girl name dash Kelda. Who is Kelda?
I don't know.
Is that the bitch that you wanted to take out on a date and then forgot?
Right.
No.
I think that was her. Oh shit.
Oh
So I just
shit.
have girl name Kelda, ask Tamsin stuff, and then I was like, here's some cool art shops. Kotaro Lives Alone, which is an anime recommendation I have not gotten to yet.
You're gonna be real sad too.
A different game. Flashforge Creator Pro, how to scale files in terms of Blender, Michael's shopping list, and that's my notepad. It's kind of gross.
And that was Bach.
Yeah.
That's all Bach, yeah.
The Tyrant is incredibly kissable. It depends on you know, if you're not a coward. And
It'll be the last kiss of your life. It's like eating lava. You can only do it once.
You can do it
Kissable
once.
monsters, you know? Like, not to spoil anything, there's definitely a lot more kissable monsters, just saying.
I am one of them, but like you're a coward and American, and this will just never work.
You're a monster?
You're American, I'm sorry.
I am pretty fucking close to one, yes.
Fair enough.
Nice.
Next question.
Yeah. Next
Actually, no.
question.
Let me fucking elaborate a little bit because I'm tired as shit, and I should. My dad today said, "You have podcast stuff, right?" And I went, "Yes, I do." And he went, "Look at you. You dressed up so nicely today. You did your makeup. You look perfect. You look like a doll." He's just like showering me in compliments. I was like, "Oh, thank you, Dad." And then he goes, and everybody probably thinks about you that way. And I was like, "Oh, I don't know. Damn, like I'm getting showered in compliments." He goes and they speak in my podcast, and I give everybody a 360 whiplash. They all have back pain. I was like, "Dad, wait." I'm like, "You're pretty spot on." He's like, "How many people do you scare a month? Do they think you're a child? Do you think they're an adult? Are you intimidating? You better be intimidating. You're only 5 feet tall." But they don't know that, right? Because you talk like you have so much more height. But you can't. You can't reach the second. I got roasted. I got complimented and roasted very quickly. But like at the same time, he like did think he was like comparing me to like fucking. He was like, "My transformation is like reverse Beauty and the Beast," and I was like, "Shut the fuck up." So yeah. This. Next question.
I don't know how he got over here, but from Ronald. What country is most likely to build the first mech?
Ronald.
Alzheimer's.
Lagos.
I think
No, I'd say Ozheim.
it's the Feywild.
It is the Feywild.
Yep.
But-
You're right.
I
The
mean,
Feywild, you'll find out in 2 years. Not IRL time, I hope.
It's got to be Vlogos because they're militaristic.
Mhm.
I mean, at least they
really?
used to be,
Yeah.
and they don't use a shit ton of magic. Like, why do you need a mech if you can turn into a dragon?
Wait, consider.
Mhm.
It is an Ozheim Vlogos teamwork situation
Collab.
using technology from the Feywild.
Because
terrible
kaijus from the Feywild came out, and we just recreate Pacific Rim and Cyrene.
Yeah, there we go.
you guys want to hear my
It's the
answer?
apocalypse.
No. I see. You guys are failing to likes to handle things
You're cutting in and
in
out, my dear.
person, which means they wouldn't invent mechs. They would be inventing power suits. We're going to have a whole country of Iron Man and Iron Man 2.0. That's it. It's just mech suits and like that kind of like not mech suits. Sorry, it's just power suits and that kind of thing. The mechs are going to come from the country that has kaiju, Feywild, and there is a difference. Power
Hell
suits
yeah.
smaller, mechs small person in big thing. And
There's
nothing
some
makes more
power
sense than
suit
a
mechs.
fucking than the Fae who probably exist in big things but are smaller things. Making mechs to fight the kaijus they made. Ooh.
Maybe the
And
like,
Vlagos and like just one guy, one bro Vlagos, and one bro from Ozheim getting drunk in a bar one day going, "Holy shit, what if you put the metal on me?" And the other one goes, "Yes, bro." And it's a little gay.
And then they kiss. Can I give my answer though? Because I think you guys are missing a very obvious contender that actually has the word mech in its name. We got Mexico.
That's not a country. Well, wait, hang on. Hang on.
Very
Okay.
Wait.
Damn, Ferris. Wow. Okay, I see
To
how
be
it is.
fair, they didn't specify.
In Cyrene.
They didn't specify Cyrene, but also bad.
Oh,
I need you to
no.
understand that we traveled with a full-blown fucking Mexican in Cyrene. What do you
Sorry, we've been calling it the Plain of Mexico for so long.
because we didn't know that it was like not just Mexico.
And it is midnight, okay?
You guys made me laugh so hard I started hiccuping.
But
A
yes,
hiccup is just an open mouth fart.
The next question, huh?
next question. Next question from Coral is what was the most unexpected character moment for each of you?
We
feel like
talking in character, out of character, like
let's go like what is the most unexpected character moment? We'll do out of character.
You killing my fucking mom in front of me? That one I didn't expect. That one came out of nowhere because I was playing. I was playing respectfully. Like I was still at a decent amount of health. I had no wounded conditions. I was okay. Then I got crit decapitated, and I couldn't play around that. So, and then I was like, "Oh, my mom! Oh, why am I for you?" I was like, "Wait, hold on. Excuse me. You're fucking what now?" Just let me sit there for like 5 more minutes. It's good. And I was like, "Holy shit!" So that caught me completely off guard. My reaction to that was very genuine because I was like, oh, "Fucking hiccups." I was like, "Holy shit, Aubrey, what the fuck are you doing to me? Did you have this planned?" And I was like crying on the floor, like right after we recorded that. I was like, "Aubrey, don't do this to me." And Aubrey was like, "Ha, fuck you."
I have 3 things written down. Almost dying versus Doan. Out of character really surprised me because that was a lot of damage. And I was like, oh, Groon's actually dead. And then getting nuked by Vasealed and Goostreya.
Goostreya?
When was she a
When
goose?
Estrella turned
Yeah.
into goo.
Yeah, when
Oh,
it's
Goose!
Goo.
Yeah.
Oh,
I also
yeah.
heard goose. I also heard goose.
I was thinking,
There's a
ha.
wonderful day
When did she
and you're
become a
rebel
goose?
god.
Oh, Goostreya. Yeah, that's a.
That was good. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I think again, becoming the first god was wild. Also, just being introduced in fucking Dino Dimension. It's like, oh yeah, no, there's just a fucking skeleton T-Rex. That was fun and wild.
It's always sad you never fought that skeleton T-Rex.
No, you just wouldn't zoom.
I think when Dumisa proposed, that was very shocking. I caught on halfway through, but like I was still like, what is happening? I need you to understand, Ferris, that lovingly I was time you are talking like, oh, you sure are talking a lot. I said a lot. And I was like, damn, this bitch is still going. And then I realized what it was, and I was like, oh my, keep going. You know? Succeeding in calling Heron a bitch and living. And honestly, when Heron was genuinely very sad to see that we got engaged. I didn't expect that to be like, oh shit, oh I feel bad, like like at all, because like we keep making simp jokes. I felt very. I was like, oh shit, he's like really sad. Oh no 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 no, oh, no. Oh, I love you too. Don't worry. Like I was like, it's not the same love, but like I love you. You know. Oh god, it was so. I don't know. I was shooketh. And the princess cliffhanger always gets me.
I was very proud of that one.
I think for me it was Thorn being a dragon.
Oh fuck!
Didn't see that one coming.
Yeah. It was like the most obvious one to think about.
Yeah, right. The only one who like had horns when in humanoid form, and we're like, yeah, cool. It's just Iron Bull.
Yeah.
Also, out of character, I could not believe I pulled keeping the proposal secret off, considering I had to like conspire out loud for podcast purposes. So that was interesting. And I think also Tethweir was definitely unexpected, both in and out of character. I knew that Tethweir existed, but they were very. I didn't know what to expect from them, and they were not what I was expecting.
The fucking wish spell.
Yeah.
That was the best. That was the best. That's such a good. That was the best. That was so awesome.
Truly VIP. MVP. The other VP.
There is one other thing that caught me by surprise. Was that Zoltran wasn't dead, because I was convinced that like all of the like weapons that the gods had were like trapped souls of dragons. So I naturally assumed that the dragon that was running the underworld was the soul trapped in Duan's sword, because that makes sense. And then when you said no, he was the old ruler, I was like, hold on, excuse me? Then who the fuck is in Duan's sword? Where'd that come from? Just a completely different, unrelated guy? Like, I was like, this connection made sense to me. So when you dropped that, I was like, huh? Huh?
Ah, yes, Salzman.
So you were saying something?
Oh, I was just real excited when Ferris DM'd me and was like, hey, do you want to conspire to help craft this wedding ring? And then it was like literal months out of game between that and the proposal, but it was cute. I was very giddy about it.
It was a really good
That was
moment.
fun. I literally think I told everyone except I think Sparlock was the only one I didn't get around to telling in advance.
I still think it was very fun when Joanna was first introduced in the one shot, that she was handed a bundle that had Winston the skull on it, and just introduced him like, I'm baby. And just like, yeah, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing here. I'm gonna be honest.
I love Winston's the best. Winston, Winston's my favorite MVP. Is Winston and Rose, like, I consider them like a duo. They're my favorites. Winston was the fucking best. Winston was like, I am just ahead.
Yep.
When am I gonna get the chance to be a fucking baby again? Let's go. You know, like, I would love that guy.
Yeah, I was like, I want to put a lich in here, but I want him to be like a dude, just a dude. But
actually, I have one more thing that shocked me. Yes, I do. Now I think about it. Torfine being a child.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I was appalled.
Yeah,
because like the immediate like implications, right? And then just finding out more about the Torfine lore, and the fact that we were like before you revealed what the plans were, I thought, oh my god, if we continued to go down, we would have probably fought and maybe killed Torfine. We would have killed a child. Like I was like, oh shit, no, I don't want to do. You know, like I was thinking like that. I was like, oh god, I didn't like that. But like it made sense, but I didn't like it. And then Torfine's like a kid. I'm like, oh. And then Torfine was Winston's kid. I was like, oh, I doubled. But also, how many of us, the people that we know, fucked gods? This is too many.
So many of them.
This is too many. You know, like I get it. We're Greek, but you know, I was doing shit like that, but like it was yeah, Torfine being a child done fucked me up in a good way, because I'm glad that we saved her and stuff. But like, oh my god, you know.
Yeah. It would definitely been interesting to come across Torfine in like season 1. And how that might have changed things. But yeah, the wish. I mean, you know, they've talked about like the sudden just no, fuck it, we're leaving the cursed city. A few other moments. When I went to Aki's DMs and went like, hi, do you want to be kidnapped?
Maybe I want to be kidnapped next time.
You got kidnapped first.
I did. That was for like. That wasn't cool kidnapping. That was sad. Listen.
You had your kind nature taken advantage of, and you got kidnapped.
Yeah, Estrella's was like cool. Mine was just sad.
Yeah. And yeah, we're gonna be wrapping up because things did go a little longer than I expected, but saying goodbye to this campaign. And yeah, I want to thank everyone who has listened or is listening now, going through. Blood of Kings is a very special story to all of us. I hope you have enjoyed your time with it. If you heard the last episode, you've heard you heard the trailer for what's coming next. Very soon you will find Mother May I Season 2 in the feed. I'm very excited to put that out. It has been such a blast to record. And then after that, we'll be back with official campaign 2, Tyrant of the Dark Star. Release date ? I don't know exactly when yet.
I'm gonna be a guy.
Yep. So take us out, Tick.
All right, thank you for listening to another wonderful little mini episode of Goblets and Gaze. This was an excellent wrap-up to an excellent campaign and definitely is making me feel emotions again. Thanks, Aubrey. If you like what we do here, feel free to follow us on Twitter at Goblets and Gaze, Instagram at Goblets and Gaze. We are Goblets and Gaze literally everywhere. You can search it in a browser and you will find us one way or another. Give us some follows, give us some positive reviews, and support us on Patreon so we can continue making this amazing content that we know you love. So stay safe, eat your vegetables, and I'm gonna have to think of another catchphrase for the next campaign.
Yep.
Bye.
Bye.